Alright, it is FF8 time. For those who are watching the video from YouTube and are wondering what happened to the end of one of the tactics, the video corrupted again towards the end. So we were missing like half an hour chunk or so at the end. It keeps happening whenever the recording passes 11 hours. Be more careful with that. I've just been streaming so long lately. the recordings and stuff has been like very long. No guys, I've been thinking on adding the chat to the recordings, right? Do not look like a mad lad. Ah, 1 second. Let me see if I can figure it out. Hey, game man. Hello. Yo, indeed. Long time no see. How are you doing? Welcome in. Alright, I think I figured out the chat, mates. Have you been playing Final Fantasy games? A couple, yeah. Hey, how do we call Squall, mate? There is only one unreal name, a Squall. That is Quack. Maelstrom. That would be a fitting name too. It is always such a great time. Yo, by the way, chat, say hello to YouTube. Now you're gonna appear on the videos too. You know the one thing I would like to figure it out one day? To have like a real TTS chat with actual human voices. Like I don't know if with AI or something, but that would probably be very expensive. But you know, like hi YouTube, hello chat. But you know, somehow, yo Attila, it would probably be very chaotic. It would need to be not with the typical Loquendo voices, robotic voices. I'm only sleeping and it's the ooh, I got to update. Good call, mate. Final Fantasy 8. I also forgot to change the day. We're in day 7 already. After we complete this, I've completed officially 1 week marathoning. Quick reminder, every 10 days, I take 1 day off where I go completely offline. That is, you know, to that all my health, all my well-being, and everything is in order. It allows me to have, check things that we check. I always do that in every marathon. Okay, boom. How are you doing, Attila, mate? For those who don't know, this game is kind of like my baby. It's the one that put me on Twitch back then. I used to use speedrun this game over and over and over and over and over, and I became known for it at the time. Of course, probably nobody knows by now. All the people who watched me back then are pretty much long gone. Attila, Magic Master, used to watch me the good old days, still around. And from all the speedruns, FF8 is the one I'm the most proficient at, like by far. I was a world record contender back then. Yeah, we're gonna be getting the card very quickly. They've been messed up again. Oh yeah, I need to open the tool, right? I don't remember the order of how to play this. Let me open my other notes. I don't remember it was like this. Jelly. War top right. Enter button right. There goes the first of many. Does Fujin add this way in other languages? In Spanish, yes. It's like a very direct character that says just very few words. Capital letters. Now, I should probably mention this, but the English translation in this game is not very good. It's not very accurate. Particularly in the way Squall interacts with everybody. In English, they just make him so mean for some reason. While in Spanish, French, Japanese, and all that, he's not mean. He's just like very cold towards everybody. That should start the quest. No, he's really mean during this game, like in English, obnoxiously so. Like it's no wonder not many people like Squall. You see that scene where Squall goes quizzes to go talk to a wall? That does not happen like that at all in any other language, including Japanese. It just makes very clear that like I just don't wanna deal with this. I have my own problems, and nobody should like rely on each other for stuff like this. And then he should say something like, "You should go back." In English, go like, "Go talk to a wall, bitch." Like, oh man, you know. And Yera, hello, very good. Yeah, I mean the game builds as character world explaining protection. Yeah, I mean it does. Like all his character is in there. It's just the way he exteriorized it comes across like as very mean spirited sometimes. But obviously you spend time with the Squall and you know he goes through his monologues, he's there and that. Like I'm not saying the Squall in the English version is like a bad, but it just the first impression of him in English is way rougher, I found, compared to other languages. I'm gonna draw one more time with the Squall. And I'm so rusty. I don't know why I'm nervous about playing FF8. I'm so rusty. I haven't played since last marathon or so, at least. What, like some 8 months or 10 months? Literally Stainer right now. If the bot run, buddy. Why? Should be auto-saving every 10 minutes or so. Oh, lol. I thought you meant like actual press the save button. Honestly, if I wanted, I should probably play locked, right? If I want a thick progression, because I have nothing but HP, really. After now I think about it, I think I was a Spirit reference on this. Never mind. You know, mates, back in the day, in 2013, 2014, when I started speedrunning, the concept of speedrunning a game was just so fucking cool. Like, speedrunning one Final Fantasy. you will at the time you will see speedruns such as Doom, easily Mario, you know, all the goodies. But when I discovered that people actually speedrun long RPGs like this for like 8 hours, I was like, bro, no way, that was so cool. Like the way they would do menus to save time, all these tricks to avoid the conversations, the strats they would use in battles. Like to me, that was just like the coolest thing ever. And there wasn't that many, at least from Final Fantasy. You had at the time, you have from Final Fantasy 8, you got Karakan, Crocogoat, Gamer. That was it. Save the game. We need to drop 5 fish fins in 3 battles, ideally. And there is a little bit of RNG because they may or may not drop them. This will give me 100 waters that I can junction to strength to get big chongos very early. Which obviously snowballs like crazy. 1 fish fin, that's not a great start. You hate to see it. Guys, imagine one day in the future Square Enix does pixel remasters, but with FF7, 8 and 9 in the same style as the pixel remasters in 2D. Like completely 2D FF7, 8 and 9. Wouldn't that be glorious? 0 fish fins! Okay, we are 2 battles, 1 fish fin, that's an amount. 2 fish fins, okay, so we need 2 more still. Okay, great. Come on, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2, give me 2. 2, let's go. We need to do another sell-off quest. Generation. Tell to the conceded. It's the conceded. Yeah, I'm not seeing this guy. Re-enter? No? Well, next itineration is before going to Timber. Oh my god, didn't mean to go to the cafeteria. We're not gonna be getting many of the cards here early because there is no point in doing so. Later on we have to do the CC quest, right? And to start the CC quest, you need to be winning, at that time in particular, Balam triple triad matches. So it's better to farm all the cards in Balam while doing those 10 matches. I'm gonna be getting the Cypher card later under these 2, but only because it's like super on the way. Like I'm gonna be spawning one screen just next to Sith. Under these 2. That point is you have to search for it. It's worth it. Alright, everybody join in FF bot again, mates. Join. Today I need to do grocery shopping, mates, because my fridge is almost empty. But the question is, what should I get? I want something that I can cook once and get food on the fridge for like 4 or 5 days. Tappers, what do you guys think we get in? I could do some stew with the heat, I don't know. Rice doesn't hold super well on the fridge because I don't wash the rice. Almost sacrilegious cuisine. But also means that if you want to keep it on the fridge, might probably grow fungus. Not a good idea. Put it on the see what else? Give me some ideas, mates, of food that will hold well on the fridge several days. Yeah, slow cooker. Well, I mean, as for actual food, not tools. I see lots of videos on the slow cooker meat. I mean, anything will work, right? I can make it. If it is a stews or something like that, right, I can make it in a normal pot. By the way, mates, drifting in Balam. Whoa! Usually make a bunch of toast. But if you really want to be a Sith, pasta you hold well. Well, I know some pastas do, like the raviolis, tortellinis, the filled ones. If you submerge them in sauce, they go well on the fridge. Normal pasta I never really tried, but I don't imagine they do hold well, right? Spaghetti, very sure if ravioli does, right? Oh yeah, like those big New Mexican pots of chilies. I never tried it, but that has to be an absolute treat. I tried to make it. Probably it's being the main character. But I want to avoid putting on the fridge is having like to make food, like pizzas or whatever. Try to have some healthy. All this like junk food lately, it just makes me feel so bloated and bad. I don't know what is it about it, but it's not like I don't eat it. I do every now and then, but like for the marathon, they will just make me feel so bloated, and that's the last thing I want to feel during these long marathons. I don't remember these menus like at all. What happened to me? I used to know these menus by heart. I cannot touch the cable on the controller like at all. Really quite fun. Like one of the badass scenes. Mission can be completely skipped if you spend the time. Yeah, I never knew on that when I was a kid. Oh, I'm not even touching the cable. Yeah, it's just curious. They decided to go that approach, honestly. Especially when otherwise the entire game is just like an action movie, right, at the time. Like all the cutscenes are just bombastic, war sequences and stuff. But one of the most, like, you know, impressive ones, it's skippable. Hey, Silentrea, best of luck, mate. Beating Insomnia. You got this, mate. This has never worked for me, like, ever. But what everybody says that helps a lot for sleeping is just drinking like a big glass of milk right before bed. Never really has worked for me, but I figured I'd mention in case you wanna give it a try. I guess it's maybe meant to make your stomach go full highware. Testing. Oh, I thought for a second the recording wasn't picking up my mic. That would have been a disaster. Losing 43 minutes already of footage. That was a pretty early encounter, no? I feel. I don't know what is the state of the step count for me right now. Might be a bit behind. It's no big deal. Fantastic. That's the type of snake battles you want. On the bad side, no, I should probably go up over here. I got 1 million. Name of them. Oh no, I don't know this one either. Somebody check the document. There's one that was like relatively wrong. Fuck, I was too slow. No, really. Well, I'm gonna be a little bit lower HP for a little while. That's fine. We'll catch other quizzes. I'm actually gonna heal whack. I used the old unofficial one from Mison's community. Saving just in case. It's very unlikely for me to die, but it can happen. Whoa, there is a Costco in Madrid? No way. Guys, what do you typically get in Costco? What's the Costco star product? I never knew we got those in Spain. Are there no? Yeah, there is. There most definitely is. I will need to ask some fellow Americans. Outside and I meant to do that, but whatever. That's a G. Do the G. Wait a second. Yo, why is food so cheap in Costco? What? Is that normal? I can get a pack of 30 ramens or not ramens, but like, you know, instant noodles for like 10 bucks. How much is that? Like 40 cents per package? That's insane. The minimum package you can get here in Spain is like at least 120 for the small ones. On my own, I somehow pulled at the end on selfie. Yo, legendary. Yo, not many people has done that, Jack. Must have been a hard fought fight. You need to be on pretty high crisis level to see the end at this level. Let's just use another potion. 1, 2. Yeah, and I don't think there is any insurance here in Dolan, mate. I don't think it has been invented yet. That car is just gone. Okay, and very quickly. Too soon. This guy has the Pandemona card, but not yet. We'll get the cell card later on the disc 3. Hello? That was weird. I couldn't talk with the lady. Never happened before. We need to talk with the cell girlfriend again. By the way, mates, for those who don't know what this Cell love quest is, it's the kill that appears on the ending that helps Cell when he's choking on the hot dogs. And they have an entire love quest, which, if you don't do it properly, you just get the implication that they talked about something private, and that Cell became renewed afterwards. But if you do complete the Cell love quest, then you can listen to the conversation. They confess to each other their love. The problem is the conversations are like extremely tight story related. Like if you advance a little bit too much on the story and you don't talk to her at the right time with the right character in the party, like you just miss on it. It's like a super hidden quest. Did you guys know that there is a second part to the lake quest, by the way, that is not documented in many guides on this game, including the official guide? But there is a second part. The reward still is pretty shit, but we're gonna be doing it complete. Okay, not bad. Let me see if I can figure it out. This Costco thing. Yo, they sell mostly in like big batches. Or is just me? Corn dog they have. Give me just a minute here, mates. I'm gonna figure it out this grocery. My grocery on the way. So I won't have to go outside, mates. Like an hour break or something like that. Oh, Bakura is summoning. It shows violence today. Are we summoning, mates? Our breaker. We're just a breaker, right? Summoning. Let me summon too. Yo, speaking of, what is the name of the final boss encounter in Final Fantasy 1? Does anybody know this one, mate? Any ascenders? Oh, there you go. Here to kill chaos! Here to kill chaos! Good old Jack Garland, man. What a character. Off it goes. Yeah, they need to be from the active party. I'll work it now, right? Did I get any mission this time? You know, she just wanted to hang out with the dinosaur. Oh, now I think about it, we need to do some... I'm very slow on doing these stats, so bear with me, mates. This is intense music for SID exams. You did, I won, you did. But it's the remastered, so you didn't miss anything important. Of course. Now, don't ask me what is the limit break of Galuf, because I don't remember. I think we got this, right? Should be winning. Yo, Haxblue. Going great, mate. So far, so good. Yo, we won? Yo, we won! Let's go! Let's fucking go, moits. Nice going. How hard you guys gonna be using the legendary stack now? Wait a second, I didn't go to Diablos, car. Heck, I didn't even got Diablos. That's my phone, but it's like so insanely hot. Stopping charging. Nah, not that. Well, I don't know if you guys die a lot in FF8 for me to win the race. It skips animation. You know, Squall getting ready to hit like that. So they just do their action directly this time. Pretty much almost every action. Yeah, it does. The remaster is identical to the normal game. the normal Steam game. Oh, if you mean like the dual combos, then yeah, they're a bit laggier. But we were talking about the runaway animation. I assume that's what you meant. But yeah, like the limit break is clunky. There is just like input delay. You get to use it. You get used to it over time, but it's not ideal. Once you go back to the console version, wait, no, I already got. What am I doing? Perdón, for real. Only thing I needed was to beat Diablos. As far as I know, this remaster is a mod, the Steam version. The only thing they did was update the models on the 6 main characters and add linear filter to all the backgrounds. The tasters expressed out their font a little bit too. They upscale the font. That's literally it, unfortunately. Yep, it was absolutely a cash grab. And not only that, Steam version is in almost every way. Less input delay, less loading times. You can mod it to your heart's content. The remaster is not so. Quality of life they added? Missed on those. By quality of life you mean no, now it recognizes controllers. Probably is a good. Had to rely on it. The real reason why they never did it is because they lost Final Fantasy VIII ages. And they did not bother to recompile Final Fantasy VIII on it. So what they did is they took FF8 Steam as is and modded it. This is FF8 Steam, but injecting the models. That's all. Like a mod. Use the same method and everything. All the problems of and the Steam version was nothing else but a re-release on the PC ADOS from 1998. So it was made with PCs of that era. It's a reskin of a skin. Again, it was meant for 1998. Why so lagging and yeah, and has all these like weird bugs. That is because the engine cannot handle more than one input every 15 PSs. More than that, and it's register. So if you mash hard, the game understands that you're just holding down the button. You have to like do it slowly. One press every 15 frames. Yeah. I always would say it. The state of the modern Final Fantasy VIII experience is extremely sad. I always recommend, if you guys want to experience FF8, just play on emulator. The version is the best way. No mods, no graphics, no, just emulate. It was back then. So all these PC remasters and re-releases they have done, they so many. It's done, but it's how they did it in 1998. And since this is a re-release of that, they didn't even bother fixing that, They don't have the source code. And they could have recompiled the game like they did Fantasy IX. FF9 got recompiled completely and built in Unity. They could have done that with it, but they didn't bother. Well, as somebody who loves this game to death, I mean, of course I'm happy. I can play it on PC, right? It would be awesome if at least they pour the bare minimum or modern. Like I'm not asking like a full remake or like change all the at least so it's presentable and it's not embarrassing. My way of thinking, because right now the way it is like the absolute bare minimum. The remaster of Final Fantasy IX also has its own unique set are also like carried over onto Moguri mod. Like just things that work differently. They're quirks. Yeah. Moguri. The pacing on the battles. There is even on the remaster there is input delay. The main reason why there is a reason. Where? The real story the Final Fantasy IX remaster didn't came out originally. If you remember, it came out fixed on phones. Okay? So they made the game in Unity with phones in mind. Big buttons, touch screen, that's right. So they adapted the game initially for that. And they kept the frame rate at weird states to not, overheat the phones at the time. Then they ported the game straight up to PC 1 year later, as is. So that's why now on the Final Fantasy IX Remaster now have all these like big clunky buttons. And that is because they are not like buttons, they are not like a scrollable menu. What's happening is that there is a virtual cursor. And when you press down or up on the D-pad, it moves that virtual cursor, but it needs to like check, oh, where am I? Where am I going next? Oh, this is the next box. Okay, then I go there. So that's why there is this weird delay when doing menus. And you can do like many quirky things if you press the buttons fast. That's just like the virtual cursor just jumps all over the place. And then that's in places that you do not expect, And like, if you press down too fast, only half the inputs get registered. And then if you press down and X, then the cursor jumps to another place of the screen. It's, in reality, it's just emulating a touchpad. Those problems are still in memoria, like they are imprinted on the game. You need to rewrite all menus. I don't know. I think that's just like the director use. For example, you have gamepad travelers, default, Fantasian. Like it's not like Square Enix is not capable to do it or comprehend it. Just that the directive, for whatever reason, the director of the project is... Yeah, that does happen, Hacksroom. If you press... I already explained it these times, but if you press down and any other button, it can be any other button, pulls 2 down input, like it just repeats the previous one. That causes issues when you are doing battles at a very fast pace. Demon's Gate, for example, where inputs need to be extremely tight. You will end up, going to places like slow down you enough, but be fast enough, like, it makes it really tricky. Otherwise, 2 down inputs or 2 right inputs or 2 circle inputs, you end up casting. Those are some of the issues. The typically have, which is why they don't have a good reputation. Check out whenever Star Ocean does a remake or remaster, how glorious Star Ocean, you know? Why can Final Fantasy not get that treatment? Final Fantasy is their flagship. Like, why do they go absolutely all in on Star Ocean 2, but not on Final Fantasy 8? In FF8, they go like, we'll have one month of development, we'll make a mod to make it look a little bit more upscale, and that's it. Dedicate 1 year to your games at least. Release them in a proper pace that is worth selling for 40-50 bucks. When they release these mods in a way that's like the absolute bare minimum, then they sell it for 15 bucks. At least they're aware, you know, that the debuff are very low, like even on launch. It shouldn't be, like, we're talking about one of the most generationally important franchises on the 90s. I don't know why they're doing such a disservice to Saga. A while before the Pixel remasters, what do we have? We didn't have Final Fantasy 1 or 2 on Steam. Final Fantasy 3 got that scuffed 3D version that was based on the Android version before it was based on the DS version, with tons of issues, bugs, save corruption, you know, everything that they never fixed it. Then FF4 running at 10 FPS on the Final Fantasy 5, this weird phone port that was laggy as hell with weird menus and stuff. And then Final Fantasy 6 with that scuffed art style that nobody comprehends to this day, that make all the characters fat. It wasn't until after all that, that's when we got Final Fantasy 12 remaster, and it was like a glorious, actual, real good, undoubtedly the superior way to enjoy the game across. I was like, bro, if they did this type of remaster treatment to all the other games, Final Fantasy will not be on the dump. People will not have such a bad look on it. You know? Right now, when you think Final Fantasy, you think cheap, no effort, broken ports, something you give maybe to your nephew for his birthday for 12 bucks. You don't think on, oh, I'm gonna be getting Final Fantasy cheap. Am I alone with that? Remake? Well, they can, and they want to. They have expressed that they want to for a while, but the state of Parasite Eve is a very complicated one, because they do not own the rights of it completely. The author of the books has like a big portion of the rights, and he refuses to them away. He was very, very, very pissed with the Squaresoft back in the day, and they ended in really bad terms. Which is why, in Parasite Eve 3, the sequel they made on the PSP does not reference any events or characters whatsoever from the novels. They only used the characters they made out. There is no Aya, there is no nothing. And that is because the writer of the novels did not give consent. And that's why the game is also not called Parasite Day. And Squaresoft has expressed it, or Square Enix has said several times already, that they would like to work on Parasite, some sort of re-release, but they cannot. And the author of the novels is just, you know, stubborn. Square Enix do anything to do with the... I think the major fallout came from Parasite Eve 2, most part. And because in Parasite Eve 1, they got a lot of liberties. They had a lot of... They rewritten some of the scenes from the novels. Like, it wasn't like one-to-one at all. It did its own thing. And the novel artist did not like that one bit. He thought it ruined his career. Just bitter about it. Yeah, the third version, that one. We'll see a Parasite Eve remake once it goes into free... what's called? Whenever your art of work is too old, it's considered like public domain, I think it is. Which is probably not gonna happen for another 40 years. In 40 years, you'll see. Well, or remake or release. Guys, me 5 minutes. So I think my food's typing. Alright, mates. All me grocery. Yeah. The quiz is not getting nerfed anytime soon. I got these cream cookies too. They're kinda like waffle cookies, I think. But they have like cream inside. Absolutely delicious. I got paninis, I got a pizza, I got to make pasta, like raviolis and stuff. I got cheese, bread. I got something that is called San Jacobo. Don't know if that's a thing. It's kind of like ham loin with this. Deep fried. I'm a little sad. The other song still only at 11 likes. We're never gonna get a Steiner. No, man. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. Guys, if you guys give some likes, gotta give some likes to that song. Hit the button 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 4. There's a link down below. It's like the silliest thing I ever done, to be honest. Yeah, going back to the Parasite Eve conversation. If you guys want to see a little bit more proper rendition of the story from the novel, they made a movie in like 1992 about it. The movie was pretty good, actually. It's like a good horror mystery Japanese movie. Now, it's a Japanese movie at the end of the day. You know how their acting goes. You gotta be ready for that. They're always so overly, you know? They're always very extra on their deliveries. I think the only Japanese actor that I know that is not like that is Quintano. He could just make a movie in Hollywood if he wanted. Patron. How's everybody feeling about Kingdom Hearts 4? Is anybody excited? I am a little bit on the cold side about it, but I will wait until they show more. But as of right now, Kingdom Hearts 4. They showed a new trailer, which honestly looked identical to Kingdom Hearts 3. Everything. Which is not inherently a bad thing. Squall is gonna need a little pick me up here. And especially in the pirate level. Oh yeah, the pirate level is definitely the highlight in that game. I agree. 100%. All in all, I didn't really like Kingdom Hearts 3 all that much. Like, I thought the gameplay to be boring too. Like, coming from Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3 was such a letdown for me. That's the problem, right? Once you get used to the good food, once you go back to McDonald's, it doesn't hit it, you know? Yeah, not even I know what happened on Kingdom Hearts 3, honestly. And I beat all of the games. Pure. Okay, now who this, like, clone, Ansem, kid version of Ansem, that it goes to the past but can't go through the hearts, going to the moon type of thing. I mean, sure. Let's not use the DLC. A big disappointment for me, so we haven't tried the DLC. The same for me, Jack. I never got the DLC. And very part of my childhood and teen days were all Kingdom Hearts, you know, interacting with Kingdom Hearts forums, interacting with the community. I made so many friends to Kingdom Hearts. So I'm a huge fan, or was a huge fan. Once I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I was like, man, I'm so done with this saga. No. I think it was best when it was just simple. Kingdom Hearts 1, perfect story. Memorable characters, many great moments, all you need. Kingdom Hearts 2, the story started to become a bit more complicated, but it wasn't like bananas. You needed to understand what was going on with Light, Darn, stealing a heart, become a nobody. But if the nobody eats the heart back, then it happens this. And then the hearts go to the moon, that they get, you know, it gets complicated from there. Very abstract, which if you miss a couple of key explanations, fucking luck. And then the sequels arrive. Oh boy. Listen, I beat it Built by Sleep like 6 times. I don't know what the fuck is going on in that story. Recoded hit. I don't know, like some virtual Sora from the dictionary. The Jiminy is like writing, reliving the memories, but the memories are alive and they got rewritten by Namine because she can control memories, but she was gone, so she couldn't like really finish the job because she fused with Kairi at the end of events on Kingdom Hearts 2, so the fusion wasn't kinda complete, so now the dictionary is bugging, so you gotta restore. Brother, what? Then the 3DS game came and you have like these two playstyles with Riku and Sora. They deep dive in the dream world because that's a thing, and they're getting invaded by the Heartless over there, but they're not really Heartless because they're a version of the dreams that people have, that when they have become Heartless and they die, but they don't die because and time travel. Now there is an Ansem from the past in the present in the dream world. Like, brother, what? You know? Yeah. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 was more like Kingdom Hearts 8, to be honest. And the problem with all these sequels is they were setting them up for Kingdom Hearts 3, right? It was like the Kingdom Hearts 3 is gonna be the end game. We get this setup, we got these subplots, find out what happens to it in Kingdom Hearts 3. That was what every spin-off was, right? They would all have like open-ended endings and stuff like that. If you wanted to know more, then ooh. And the problem with that is they set up so many plots and subplots over the They set up so many plots and subplots over the years that when Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, and suddenly it's kind of like, oh, we have 3 hours to wrap up all these 7 games worth of subplots. But of course they couldn't do it, you know? Of course they couldn't make justice to every single spin-off. So it just, at the end of the day, if you play all the spin-offs and you play Kingdom Hearts 3, you will feel so let down. As kind of like, oh, so I've been waiting 10 years for this? Huh? For like a 10-minute cutscene? This wraps up these 2 games? Oh, okay, cool, you know? And I mentioned the 3 hours because Kingdom Hearts 3 does not do any main story whatsoever up until the last 3 hours of the game. The rest of the time you are just visiting worlds, not affecting the story in any way, shape or form. To a degree that was the case in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, but they always, in every world, they always will set up something. Some things will happen on the background that will affect the main characters. You know, it was all for the main plot. Like, you know, we're in this world because we are searching for my friend here. Oh, we saw my friend over here. Now we have a clue where to go next, you know? That type of thing. So that worketh back then. But not in Kingdom Hearts 3 because they didn't really do any of that. Literally nothing happens. You can remove 90% of the game and the story will be the same. Yeah. Because a lot of the worlds are just cut the story or removed from the same characters, yeah. So the gameplay and the story was lacking. So yeah, that's the way I feel about Kingdom Hearts 3. It was just like a huge letdown. I wanted to know like what happened to Roxas and all that, but all I got was like a 10-minute cutscene. Cool moment, sure, but it surely didn't made it worth wait 10 years for stuff like that, you know. This wasn't like the big setup that they were originally setting up. It feels like in the last 3 hours they went through a checklist. They were like, okay, guys, what the fuck did you read in the past 10 years? Also, why sell... Huh? Oh shit, I forgot one menu. I need 2 more EP. Then I'll get to what I was saying in a second. And I messed up so much. So it feels like they were on a checklist. What the fuck do we read in the past 10, 15 years? Oh, this story, this story, this story, and this story. Fine, let's address one by one. But we only have 3 hours of runtime. Oh shit. If 10 minutes to this story, 10 minutes to this one story, 10 other minutes to this story, back to back to back to back to back. Hurry, we ship the game in 3 hours, in 3 months. Hurry the fuck up, you know? That's how it felt to me playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah. Those reasons I love F9 stories so much, the payoff everything, I said they may be Rufus. Yeah, and they're like self-complete stories, right? They don't need like sequels or anything. Oh no, I was about to sell something very bad. I cannot buy the 10s though. I have sold something? Was my movement just that good? I guess I'll buy it later. Yes, in older games that use better world building progression, even if people meme on older jets starting right ending, God lost parents, etc. Yeah. They make sense contextually within the game, you know? You can make a game that is just bananas, balls to the walls, like let's say this guy, right? And still have great writing. It's all about the tone, the set, and the plot points. And that's why Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 kind of work as a story, because, you know, they keep it mostly contained within its own boundaries of the bananas. And how bananas they go. But I think on the spin-offs they started to lose the plot more and more and more and more. And every time they introduce like a new concept or whatever, you get to go back to the first game and go like, why didn't they do this back then? Why did the Billions didn't do this if they could have done it all along? That is because they're making bullshit as they go, you know, with little disregard of the other games. And all for the sake of being abstract and mystique. That's something that Tetsuya Nomura games tend to do a lot. Look at the Reach of Cerberus 2, suffers from exactly the same problem. It's a game that, sure, is mysterious, is moody, they talk about all these like big wars like fate and destiny and bonds and the past, you know, but it's the same in Kingdom Hearts. They talk about light, darkness, and the essence of the soul, of the heart. Like, can we talk about the characters talking about normal human being things? Why everything has to be so ethereal, mysterious, abstract? Like, to me, that's very cheap. All Tetsuya Nomura games does that. It's like a big fan of all these like nothing words. Thank you for clarifying, Hasru. Sure. So normally I don't drink Coca-Cola these days, or caffeine, almost at all. That's something that has been removed from my system for like years at this point. Occasionally I do, like today. And I'm feeling it, man. Oof. When caffeine hits and your body's not used to it, it hits. Now, there was a period a couple of months ago where I was just drinking Dr. Pepper for like 2 weeks or so. It was so good and delicious. But I think Dr. Pepper doesn't really have that much caffeine. It wasn't really affecting me that much, or at least I didn't feel it. This broadcast doesn't make sense considering the lore of Fate, doesn't it? What part doesn't make sense? Just having the flavor Pepsi Max for like months. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds delicious. I like the lime one. I don't know if you have it yet, if you have it still. Vanilla Pepsi Max. Oh, yes. Mango Pepsi Max, strawberry Pepsi Max. Good flavors were. Yeah, are they still a thing? Yeah. The one I remember was the lime one. Or it was the blight making railways. This Casberry is here. Well, that's why they repair the antenna station from Dolet, because that's the only powerful enough in the world that is able to do broadcasts like that, and that's why Galvadia invades Dolet. Repair the thing, hijack their signal, and they go out, they retire. And the main reason why is because Dolet used to be a town made by refugees of Stars, both Dolet and Fisherman Horizon. So they had like great technology advancements. They were inventors of the cars too, the modern cars for the place. I think the refugees from Dolet weren't from this last war with Adelda. They were like from previous generations before. So they have that big as satellite. Once Galbadia learned about it, they just hijacked the thing. Make this transmission to declare war to the whole world. Well, not to declare war, but to like install themselves as the leader of the world now because have the sorceress. Yeah, it does. This game almost suffers the same issue as Final Fantasy 15 in the sense that the lore is very interesting, but it's mostly kept between supplementary material and like NPC conversations in this game. On the main story, it's not like the main focus. Like the main focus is the sorceress, Squall and Rinoa. But all these lore pieces and bits, they don't really get like super explained through the game. Like, you have to go out of your way to know about these things. Which makes sense, because to the characters, the lore behind them doesn't matter, so they never discuss it. You know, they have enough problems as is in their plate. Yeah, I really figured out animations at this point. Let's go. Do you have more money now? I didn't pay attention. Yes, we do. So I guess by the time I arrived at the shop, I just didn't run it off too fast. And there is games like Final Fantasy X that I think they nailed it pretty good on almost everything. They have like a really personal story with lots of like the story interacts with the lore of the game itself constantly and the world setting. Like the story is happening because of the world events in FF10 and it affects all the characters. In FF8, a little bit less so. I say this obviously loving FF8 with all my heart. My favorite Final Fantasy ever, almost. But I'm not oblivious to its issues. You know what I mean? It's okay. I want to buy 2 magic scrolls, which I don't think I have no money. Oh, how am I missing so much money? Cannot sell. I did. Took a while, but I did took them. Well, I mean, you cannot max it because you can only do as many exams as levels your character have. I'm level 8, and I'm gonna be level 8 pretty much 90% of the game, so you can only do like 8 exams or so. Oh, my head. Oh, no. Mission Impossible Laguna. Nice back attack. That's what you like to see, mates. Oh, I messed up. Forgot to walk. I messed it up. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom. Got Kiros and his running speed. Yo, Triplot, good to see you. Feeling better, mate? Not for now. The next Final Fantasy VII we have lined up is the new threat mod, which is gonna happen in a while. So we just finished an FF7 a couple of days ago. Great tired playing too much Division 2. Ooh, did you rest well? Fantastically, mate. But my beauty is sleep and everything. What you like in Division 2 then? Actually, on the subject, what is your opinion on the remake and rebirth games? Hot takes from everybody. I mean, I like the games. I can play any of them any day. But there is many aspects I don't like about them. In particular, story. I get why people like it because it's supposed to be a little bit different than the original, you know? The way I say, the way I see all these extra additions in remake and rebirth are if you have like a perfectly good glass of wine, but then you add water to it because you want to have more. So you get a better experience? No, because you're drinking wine watered down. That's my hot take on the remake and rebirth. Got a bit hooked, but that's a good thing, man. That's the way. But I like the games, you know. I still can play them. Have a lot of fun with them. Like, I don't go out of my way to actually hate the game. It's just that I wish it wasn't the way it is. I would have taken a little bit less on that, a little bit less of this. I like them more when people complain about them. Yeah, that's fair. I also respect that, you know, like the way I see it is not necessarily the way everybody feels. Because you can make the argument that if it was exactly the same as the original, then it would be pretty boring. To which I say, fair enough. Yeah, my first playthrough, but I had so much regret looking back on my experience. Happens. Remake is rough too, like the first part. In the gameplay department. Because there is so much walking, like literal walking, and very little combat. When you sit down through it and understand what's going on through the majority of the game, there is very little combat in Remake. In walking, talking, interacting with NPC, doing one battle, walking, talking, walking, one battle, walking, running a little bit, post fight. That's the structure almost every chapter in Remake. And test yesterday with the new Febot update, and is you still not fixed? Fuck, man. Well, I don't know what to do about it then. Well, thank you for letting me know, mate. I think at this point there is nothing I can do about it, really. It seems like just something is blocking the connection directly. I don't know if it is like the ESP, I don't know if it is firmware, the firewall. I don't know if it is Twitch blocking it. Because I also received zero information whenever, like, remember from the builds that I sent you some time ago? I sent another one to Metaco in the same way. And the error codes Twitch was given was -1, which was unknown error. It's like, oh, okay. So you are not, we cannot connect because unknown error. But Twitch is refusing the connection, you know? So Twitch is not providing like a reason for the disconnection, which is why it's making this bug so tricky to fix. Connect childhood to play the old games again. Remind myself, it was still a good game. Yeah, fair enough. Even the current version, it actually uses, like, it completely disconnects everything, generates a new token, like from the start, as if you logged in for the first time. And a question have for you: do you run Firebot on your stream? Streamerbot. Try one day without running that. Because Metako found out it got loads of issues with reconnecting and opening OBS and all that when he was running Firebot. Like big part of the disconnections was caused by that. If you one day you want to do tests and you don't want to run StreamerBot, you can try that. Obviously, StreamerBot is gonna be necessary for you. Did you try running Feeder or other networking tool? No. So the only people who's having this issue is Metako and Half from all the FFBot users, and we just cannot figure it out exactly why. I tried all methods of reconnection ever, like the game is just completely blocked. Like the app itself, like it doesn't get unblocked until you close the game and open it again. I literally tried every single reconnecting method. It just doesn't work for them. And to me it works. If I disconnect my internet cable right now and connect it after 1 hour, my FFBot will just reconnect in an instant, you know? No problem. For some reason they get their signals like blocked by something. Or someone's planning to stream in a bit after that. I mean, at least I found a sweet spot to keep it connected at this point. Yeah, with the higher spam, right? It's just so very peculiar. Yeah, try to run FFBot next time without the streamer bot open or active. That's something you run locally, right? It might be related to that somehow. Let me menu. No. Quality, life refine, Kuragas, Qual, and airfine. Okay. DF was in half. That's the menu? That is the menu. We're gonna do the manip here. I'm heading out again. Gotta still run to the store. Been procrastinating still today. I feel you, man. Alright, good luck, mate. Thanks for letting me know about the reconnecting issue. Oh, I need money. Oh no, the money, mates. The gil. I'm gonna have to save again. Another cheeky reset. There it is, okay. Hey, you got on. I don't know, I feel I don't like that many of the modern Square Enix games. There is a few that I like. I love the remakes of Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3. I love Octopath 0, 1 and 2. Particularly 0, I think is the best one. I love Bravely Default. But when it comes to Final Fantasy, I think they have been dropping the ball for so long now. It's just hard to like fall in love with it. Modern Final Fantasy. Yeah. It's not like Square Enix doesn't know how to make games. They clearly do. Yeah. The Pixel remasters were excellent too. Probably, I guess it's not all doom and gloom, right? This comes from somebody who loved drink and eat Final Fantasy in the past, as you know, the gospel, the ultimate franchise. While these days I like 7 and Rebirth, right? Like I like them, I can play them. I like Final Fantasy 16, I can play it. But I don't like love all of them, you know? They're not my bread and butter. It all kind of started after Final Fantasy 13, I feel. That one to me, again, I liked it when it came out. I kinda liked it still, but that kinda. The only game I actively don't like, and my community knows this very well, is Final Fantasy 15. That one I legit think is just like a bad game. You'll never catch me playing it. And 14 is pretty good, but 14 is kind of its own thing, right? It's difficult to put it on the Final Fantasy saga. But that one is pretty goated. Yeah. Big 13 hater. Oh shit, watch out. So you know the code is always gonna be 52 if you save and load before taking the train? No, actually I don't mind Pronto all that much. I think the characters are fine. I kinda like more like how the gameplay is and the nothing open world and the story. It's hyper rush. Like nothing happens on the story the first 60% of the game, and then it's just go. But there is aspect of 15 I like. I like, you know, traveling with your bros. I like the camping, and I like the fishing. I like the hanging out with the bros type of feeling that game has. You know, it's not enough. 13.2 though is way better. I agree. 13.2 pieces on Final Fantasy 13 in every aspect, minus the ending. The ending we all can probably agree is bullshit. But the gameplay is so much better, the worlds are much better, the cutscenes are better, the character-to-character moments are better. Noel is likable, Sarah is likable, you know? You got everything too. Isn't like the music and the ethereal vibes in that game are just insanely good too. Checking different eras, back and forth, see how they affect each other is kinda cool. You know, they actually made it good. It reminded me a lot to Chrono Trigger, how they did it, but a little bit easier to keep track. Like they took the Chrono Trigger concept and they expanded it, I think, in good ways. It has a good villain too. You know, 13.2 is, I mean, it's not goated. I wouldn't put it on the same level as 7 to 10 or 2 to 10, but it's probably the closest have been. And time travel stat didn't like at first, but then by the end I thought it was done well. Especially if you go out of your way to get all the fragments, then it gets like a very interesting treasure hunt. If there is a game that could make it into this marathon from 10 onwards, chances are you could see 13 very unlikely. You could probably see 13-2. You could see FF12, and you could see FF16. You're not gonna catch me playing 15. Only whenever I want to do... Like, the only reasons I have done Final Fantasy 15 the past 10 years was when it came out, when they released DLCs, and when they released Comrade. And when I was doing true Final Fantasy marathons, like 1 to 15, those have been the only instances I have played 15. And I hated every single each one of them. Especially on the marathons, when I was like, okay, I gotta do Final Fantasy 1 to 15. Like, by 14, the end, I was just so exhausted, and now I have to play 15. Fuck. You know? It's why I only do 1 to 10 rounds these days. It's much better for me, for my mental health. We like it very much more here, you know? Now, I'll say one thing, however. 15 has some really cool aspect, and that has nothing to do with the game itself. You know what I like about 15? The speedruns. I think watching the speedruns is actually a work of art. Those are actually legit very entertaining. They do some insane stuff, man. That'll always be down to watch. Especially like really good runners like Kios. I think Trilogy is the only number one I haven't completed aside 11 and 14 because being MMOs. 14 is really good if you want to give it a chance one day. It's not really an MMO. You can play it completely single player, like completely, all the way till the end. You don't have to interact with a single character, minus a couple of occasions. It's pretty much built up as a single player game these days. Yeah, it is. But if it is your first time playing, the story is kind of interesting. Minus the nothing quests, which is lamentably like 40% of them. Once you get to Heavensward, or once you get to the Real Reward post game, actually, it gets big good. I just can't believe how good they cook it on the story, on like the post game patches. The 90% routes are now crazy. I believe it, man. The only thing I kind of wish they didn't was those exosuits things. I think the speedruns were a little bit more interesting before the exosuit. But you know, it is what it is. It's in the game. It's in the base game. On the Royal Edition, there's no reason not to use them. And they can only use it like once the entire speedrun, right? Until they discharge, as far as I know. Because it takes like 8 hours or something to charge again. This Stormblood came out, yeah. Then 16. 16 is a weird one for me. Because I love the gameplay. I think the gameplay is goated. But there is only a couple of things that air me the bad way on 16. First one is the side quest. I don't know what they were smoking with the side quests, but they all consist of go and gather 5 pills. Oh, go grab some wood for me. Oh, go visit this NPC and then go visit this other NPC. Then bring me some materials. Mission complete. They're all completely MMO-ish side quests. Unapologetically with the blue markers and everything. And they're all pretty terrible. No actual elements or weapons. Oh yeah, the whole black armor. I think they could just remove the weapon system. Completely, right? Just have you have one sword the entire game. Because it literally affects nothing. And just have the bosses have less HP. You know? You get all the good weapons given to you for free at every story point. And you can always go back and craft the next tier, but it doesn't matter because in 20 minutes you're gonna get the next tier immediately better than that one. It makes no sense. And then the other thing I don't like about 16. I love the story. I thought the story and the dialogue is pretty goated in 16. The lore, the way they speak, you know, the deliveries. But the ending to me was a big letdown. I did not like the last section of the game. I think, in fact, the game would have been better if the last section didn't exist at all and have Barnabas being the final boss. The game would have been so much better that way. Not spamming the same move. Well, if you're playing on normal difficulty and you're only doing basic attacks, I don't know how you can finish the game with that. Because towards the end, towards the second half of the game, once you get the Titan power, it becomes like a rotation game. Where you cycle through your quest, like aligning yourself, putting yourself in the position, next skill, aligning, change, next skill, aligning, change, next skill. Or like grouping the enemies into a big AoE. Big AoE setting up your rod with the wheels around, triggering the rope a million times for massive damage. Into a laser from Bahamut, woof. Into a stun, DPS rotation, go, brrrr. You know, it's just like so much fun. Devil May Cry Final Fantasy a little bit, but it's not pressing one. Like, if you play Final Fantasy 16 pressing only one button, I think you are definitely playing the game wrong. Like, I understand why you hate the game, you know what I mean? It's as if you play Pokemon with only the starter and nothing but the starter. Of course, it's gonna be boring. But if you actually engage with all of the mechanics, the rotations, the setup abilities and all that, it's just so much fun, 16. Well, but in terms of there is only reward. Damage score. Well, I don't know. Beating one boss in one single cycle to me is reward enough. That is when you actually know what you're doing and all that. Otherwise, you need to stagger them like 3 times, 4 times, and it's like a slog. Which is why in Reddit, when 16 came out, many people who didn't know how to play the game, they just complained that all the bosses have like this amount of insane HP, like they're unbeatable and all that, and everybody in Reddit who knew how to play were telling them, are you doing rotations? Are you doing like what skills do you have? Have you upgraded your skills? Do you use them? No, I'm doing the 1, 2, 3 combo into magic charge into this. Because the skills are always on cooldown, so I don't know how to use them. Ah, okay, so that's a you issue then. Because everybody who knows how to play, they can kill almost any boss in a single rotation. You don't have to stack on them like 3 times. They don't feel spongy. Quite the opposite, in fact. You kind of wish they have more HP to do bigger combos. But it's kind of like the same problem as, with fighting games. Or if you play, even with Devil May Cry, shares the same issue, right? If you just use the Dante sword, the entire game, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, Stinger, 1, 2, 3, well, yeah, everything is going to feel spongy and the bosses are going to have a million HP. But if you do like attack, combo aerial, into switch to nunchakos, boom, 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 into like dive kick with the other weapon, into a double circle, into SSS rank, smoking, like, that's when it feels like really good. It's the same with 16. Or when fighting games where if you use the same combo over and over and over, not engaging with any mechanics, no anti-air, no setups, no Oki, no nothing. Not only you're going to be stuck in silver, but also the game is going to feel boring, repetitive, unfair. But once you start to engage with everything on it, then it becomes a fighting game. That's my take on FF16. I just think it's really fun if you make an effort to do gaming on it, which of course is not for everybody. I'm not trying to say that, oh, if you are not good enough, then you cannot enjoy the game. But it is true that if you don't do everything right, then the game feels like a slog. And that's not necessarily your fault. Like not everybody is good at action games. Or, there can be many circumstances why you don't want to be sweaty about it. What I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to say that, oh, skill issue, More like expressing that I understand why it feels like a slog. I understand why the gameplay on 16 feels repetitive. But you also have to know that there is other ways to. It's a skill issue. It's not what I'm trying to say. It's not what I'm trying to say. Oh, what was you? What changing attacks? Exactly. Yeah, it's the same, actually. Exactly the same with 16. But it's a reality that in that game, you need to engage with everything to make it fun. If that's a good thing or a bad thing depends on each person, really. What? Bakura has been caught striking on stream? What? What happened that day? It's a movie and I enjoyed it, yeah. The story is pretty decent if you are into dark fantasy stories like that, the Game of Thrones style. There's people who hate dark fantasies and they hate 16 for it, which is fair enough too. It really is out there for a fan of fantasy. I personally like that type of stories quite a lot. So, like, I just had fun with it. Lol, Bakura is opening an OnlyFans soon. Well, given the track record of Square Enix, making all sorts of different settings and stories, who knows, maybe Final Fantasy 16 will be a cyberpunk game. Super hacking and everything. It's good. This battle is not completely free on this route. I just don't have the attack needed for this. But I don't know if did I... Are you guys friends or... Carbuncle... Boom. Oh shit, I thought you guys were friends, something, since you were bantering earlier. Yeah, everybody respects each other, mate. Yeah, but online, I kinda love everything from 1 to 10, including the black ships, like 2. But from 10 and onward, from 12 and onward, it gets complicated for me. There's a lot of nuisance, how I feel about the games. All in all, the only one I dislike is 15. If everyone always freezes up, why was he chosen for this? Because he's all talk. He sold himself super sniper, so everybody was expecting that. But turns out in the moment of truth, he was just very cocky. He probably did have the top scores as a sniper at the school, shooting against targets, not living persons. Save the game. Actually, I didn't thought about that. That could very well be another reason. Elvan is the one who reveals that the AI is Matron, right? In the flashback, much later. Off he goes. Look at him jumping down like that. Yeah, actually, I never thought about that way. It might very well be. Not ideal HP here, sadly. Have too much HP. So normally in the speedrun, we are far more powerful here, right? We can just one-shot her. But that is because in the speedrun, you rely on cards. We are doing all cards. I'm not allowed to refine the cards, because I need to have all of them by the end of the Disc 3. You can recover the refined cards later, but on the Disc 4. For my route and the rules that I set for the all cards, I'm not allowed to do that, so I'm much weaker than usual. ¿Cuál is the theory? Super flawed. Really cool read, really fun read, but it doesn't stack up with what's on the game at all. It has many flagrant omissions. It's one of those that if you want to go out of your way to explain something by omitting as much information as possible, then you can. It's similar to how the Earth is flat works, where you can make the most beautiful explanation only if you don't take into account the actual proof against it, you know? And you can make it sound like an incredibly believable theory. The Squall is Dead theory is basically that. One of the biggest omissions they have is... oh, nothing weird ever happens before the end of the Disc 1. There's no fantastical elements or anything. There is no... There's just trains and cars and it's just fairly normal. They're just like a military thing. Well, it's omitting that there is GFs. It's omitting that the Laguna Dream happens and everybody dreams about that. It's omitting all the fantastical elements. It's omitting that characters are casting magic during the cutscenes and everything. It's omitting that the sorceress exist to make it seem like, oh, nothing makes sense before, or nothing makes sense after the Squall is dead, because there is this one part where there's like a person that goes up and up. That's too fantastic. That's unreal. We're talking about the same game where they're casting, they're summoning beings from the ether, you know. But it's a cool wreath in general. Like it's just fun, you know. You write about it, but it shouldn't be taken too seriously. Fine. There's ancient spike in his shoulder. Where it might be more dangerous. I just casted Kuraga. And how you explain he healed? Will you explain anybody heals after being KO'd in this game? After receiving a blade to the chest? You sleep it off? It's not unreal at all, I think. Again, they cast magic healing constantly on this game. Early caster cards, Hell Triple Triad, gameplay later. I won't be getting many cards up until the DS3. Doesn't matter. At that point, I'll have non-encounters and I will be able to deal with the dungeon on the brothers very easily. Again, it's a fun theory, but I just think it doesn't hold in many of the points they make. Like in Final Fantasy VII, Cloud falls from the sky and survives the fall because there was some flowers at the bottom. You know, that's the type of thing that they just can get healed like that, just that easy. Like in Final Fantasy IX, Queen Brain took a Bahamut Mega Flare to the face and she managed to swim all the way to the beach and die at the beach when she should have been vaporized to nothing. She still died, but you know, the amount of damage the character receives, it just fits the writing. Like, just because Cloud survives the fall in FS7 doesn't mean he's immortal, for example. In the same way that because Squall survives one big hit on the chest, it doesn't mean he's dreaming it, you know? People different. Wait, all cars, will I try more? All the ones, Car Queen, Simalan. Yeah, we'll get to that on the DS3 once we have the airship and we can travel through places super fast. It's just most efficient to do it backloaded. And only we're gonna get in a few cars that are like super along the way. But most of the cars are gonna be waiting until we can do the CC quest and until we can have the airship travel around the world easy. And more importantly, once I have non-encounters too. Until then, it's just to progress on the story as fast as possible. Yeah, like those. There's a couple more that I get along the way. Angelo was one, saw it earlier. I get the ward card, because there's one point where you spawn just next to Dr. Odin. I get it like right there and then. Shiva on the way. You kind of have to get it there or you miss on it. Edea and selfie cards, I also get them. Oops, right there on the way. Because there is no other point where I need to visit the Calvaria Garden or the Matron house. It's just better to just get them right there and never have to come back. In the case of Balam, it's a little bit more specific, because for the CC quest to start, you need to win 10 battles in Balam on the Disc 2 or 3, right? 10 triple triad matches cards. So I much prefer to farm for those cards while I'm farming also the 10 matches cards, you know, at the same time. So that's one way to do. The Moogle card and a couple others. The Laguna card and the Alexander card, aka the toughest ones, I also have to get them along the way in the space. There is no other choice. Or you miss on them. But another reason why I also don't do much card games up until that point is because I refine all of my normal cards before dealing with the random rule in the area place and the space. Because the random rule in there, they are not so easily manipulable. So I just refine all my normal cards, which are not that many at that point, and I just leave all the important cards, you know? So whenever you get hit with a random rule, you only get important cards, like character cards, GF's cards, and all that. It makes it so much easier to get the Laguna card and the Alexander card. So much easier. Today is hot, guys. Are we? Molly. Yeah, you can, but you still have to deal with the random rule. At that point, it's just better to do it right there, because you have very little normal cards if you do it the way I'm doing it. And you talk to Piet anyways along the way to to progress on the story. So it's just efficient to do it right there. If I wait until later, it's more complex. Yeah. Yeah, she has the random rule too. But it will be easy, you'll see. I'll get a first try. Well, unless, you know, she's first player and the last card she plays give me like a same plus combo. Then, you know, I can lose. Because the other thing about that is you really cannot do much to expect it or prevent it, because she doesn't play with the open rule, meaning that you cannot check which card she has, so you cannot really prevent it in a consistent way. Like, she can have any card from a level 3 to 5. The combinations are just infinite. That's the tricky part about the area and selfie cards. They can just hit you. If they are player 1, they can hit with something nasty at the end. Fisherman Horizon is a lot easier to play because they play with the open rule. So you can prevent the same and plus at the end, more or less. But you can force a draw if you think it's coming, you know? Yeah. Selfie, still fine. Still. So what are seeds? Flower, we see in the war. Flowers to bring peace in the war, so they slaughter the spirit to fight against each other. That's a poetic way to see it. That's a very cool way to see it. Lagona. My Masin is weak compared to Metako. By the way, how is Metako doing on his marathon? Where is he at the moment? 15. Ooh, I don't play 15. Yeah, he's about to finish. Probably need a couple more days or so. Wait, don't I have Kuragas on HP? I guess I don't. Oh, I think Self is gonna kill him. Thank God. Oh my God. Cell, let your stupid limit break. Oh my God. Ugh, that was rough. Yo, City. What is up, mate? How are you doing today? Oh, I think I see the issue. Do I see the issue? I think my notes are wrong here somewhere. I think Cell should have right now Diablos. It's the correct way. Means I'm probably missing 2 AP on some of these, so I'm just gonna get 2 AP along the way. How are you doing, City, mate? Believe it or not, I almost finished all of the brisket from the last meal. It was an insane amount of food. Sleeping. Tired. You play 1-2 times this game, you still understand why it is. Bombas, Mumbas, say Laguna to Squall, Laguna paying so much attention. Yeah, such a nice, cool detail too. Laguna just went around teaching the Mumbas how to speak. Laguna is pretty much behind most of the major events that happen on this game. Play the Recon Squall, being father selector. I'll give the same aura by smell like Laguna. Probably, yeah. Yeah, they're supposed to be hypersensitive and smart creeps too. It will make sense, you know, if they are smelling Laguna on him, smelling his DNA. They also say in the Sumi village, this is probably just like a legend to them, right? But whenever a Sumi acquires true wisdom, they become Mumbas. They transcend into a Mumba. So maybe, you know, they're just hyper wise creatures. Everyone's Squall, brother. They are as brain dead as each other. Ah, they aren't. Selfie, and we do... No, Cell, right? Yeah, this one is correct. I should change it on the notes. Lol, they are not brain dead, mate. What are you talking about? Can we get the 2 AP here? Please. Give me the 2 AP I'm missing. I'll just give me a break. Whatever. I like all the characters in FF8 quite a lot. But I just kinda wish focus wasn't so much in Squall Renoa. Or at least... No, actually, the focus should be on Squall and Renoa too, right? Just as it is, but... I just wish the other characters weren't as sidelined. They have very... They do have some character arcs on their own, but they're like very small compared to FF7 or FF9. Has Diablos. Yeah. But I get that, so it's because this game was rushed quite a lot. I'm pretty sure they couldn't fit everything they wanted in it in just 1 year. Story on the side stuff, yeah. Oh, it's fine. Yeah. They could have maybe implemented it a little bit better, so it's not as... Staying on low level is kind of optimal. I could have made it so it's similar in hazing. Ah, don't worry. Trust us, the dog likes it. The dog is just a little bit, you know, logistic. Guys, will you guys give me some 10 minutes? I really need to use a bathroom. I've been delaying it for a couple of hours now. A second. Pause on the timer. Bathroom. BRB. Giga delay. Alright, we're back. Let's continue. You didn't hear anything from when you got back. No, I'm not. Yeah, I got back some couple of minutes ago or so. I didn't know you could exit the vehicle before. Oh yeah, we should probably risk very once a hit point. Nice pay. Hey, what are you doing? What? What am I doing? Alright, let's reset the stream very quickly. It might not be enough. At least the HP is correct. It has. Okay, well these tensions are all messed up. Okay, does not need to be this low. I never knew you can access the missile thing. Wait. Oh, yeah. It's pretty cool. I never knew before the speedrun either. There's like 2 ways to do the segment. This one is the fastest one. You can change the ratio, so I saw Balan blow up. Oh, shit. Three. Something you set up whenever you want the missiles to land in more AoE or less AoE, more concentrated or less. You set up a coordinate and overmatch error ratio. You want around that. Having to push those missiles in those muscles to work. By the way, I can die on this battle. This one is a chunky one on 100% cards. They're nowhere near as strong. To the start. Oh my god, that was bad. Not gonna have enough. Not gonna have enough. I don't think. I'm gonna be missing 20 AP. 100% cards and get a couple refined cards from the Queen of Carson. He doesn't get the refined cards. He gets the cards that you lose against her, but not the refined ones. You don't get the refined ones until these 4. Wait, you get the remaster ones from it? Shit, I didn't got the 2. Wait, you sure? So I never knew that. Changing strats might be needed then. That's true. That's something I can try on doing this one, actually. Yeah, if you do, I will appreciate it, yeah. I always thought it was just the Queen card. Sell, Irvine, Wall, out. Yeah, unfortunately, no HP Jansen for me. Thanks, man. I'm gonna have to reroute 100% a little bit. That might save me some 20 ments or so. I can just refine them. You'll get the yellow carbide in of these 3. Or the yellow star. What? Not enough. I can actually heal the squall here. No, I can't. Man, the next boss battle is gonna be rough. Because I missed on the carbuncle. Meaning my squall has like way less HP than Fisul. This is for the love quest. Neat. We need to remember to draw Leviathan. Hello? Yes, softlock the game? No, man. Not like this. What? You can softlock the game if you get into an encounter at the same time as this? No. Tell me this isn't so. You can softlock the game here? That's a new one. Can't even pause or anything. It's not that my controller has died, right? Maybe play it again. No, the game has to softlock. Huh? Amazing. Well, good thing we just saved it before the battle. I guess this gives me a chance to get the 20 AP again. I guess. You can actually softlock there. I can't believe it. That's something we need to try on emulator. We're probably going to be trying that tonight on emulator. Because I'm pretty sure that's undocumented softlock. Oops. Let's go. Guys, we need to open a pool soon. What are your thoughts on this? I have done FF9 all cars multiple times already, right? At least like 6 or 7 times. And each time I've done it in different ways. In Moguri mod, there is one option that allows you to change Tetra Master for Triple Triad or any other like type of minigames. And we tried all of them during 100%, but the fusion of Triple Triad and Tetra Master. You guys want to try that one? Like, I don't know how it looks, but I know it's a fusion between Tetra Master and Triple Triad. Yeah, Triple Triad was pretty good, but surprisingly, it was actually harder than Tetra Master. Because the cards you get are not, like, incredible. DB game over, I softlocked the game. I found a new softlock. I entered on a random battle in the same frame that a story trigger popped. That's new. I don't know if it is documented or not, but I've never seen it before. If it's your BRB, then this happens, damn it. The karma strikes again. I really should not be going to the bathroom. Yeah. But Tetra Master is also very easy once you know ball. Every now and then you're gonna get like an offset, you know, like the AI just does something bad and wins. But like funny enough, it was much tougher to get all cards while using Triple Triad in FF9 than the Tetra Master. Like in Tetra Master in Tetra Master I can sort of get all cards in, I don't know, like 6 hours or so. It took more like 10 with the Triple Triad mode. Because I was just losing more often and drawing more often. Oh, this is bad. Not gonna be able to make it. Oh my god, what? Alright, well. Hopefully Reno doesn't die. So bad. This battle is actually tricky on the remaster. It's just so lucky. This tank survive. Is it not gonna? Damn it. Well, there goes the 20 AP again. Oh, well, getting max points on FF9 is nearly impossible. I'm not doing that for all cars, as I hope you understand, or else we'll be here for 200 hours. I'm just getting the entire car collection, you know, that's it. I can do Tetra Master, like the whole game plus full Tetra Master in about, I don't know, 14, 15 hours. But if I were to add perfect score, it will go from 15 hours to 200 hours farm. And it will be nothing but me opening the game, winning the card game, not the one deleting for 200 hours. Playing card deleting, playing card deleting, playing card deleting, playing card deleting, playing card deleting. Over and over and over and over and over. That will be the entire playthrough. You get like the perfect arrows and everything. What's up? That is correct. I don't know, I'm a little bit pro Norg, you know, a little bit. Want to see the world burn a little bit. Not too much. That's the point, yeah. You're not supposed to know who Norg is, not even the characters, no. In fact, the entire garden is in uproar right now because they all just found out that the owner of the garden is not Sith. Well, they're an uproar for some other things too, but that's one of the reasons. Guys, now I'm so scared of the softlock. What if it happens again? Yeah, man, he wasn't wise enough. Yo, Sioski, hello. Welcome in. How you doing, mate? Yeah. Oh, you're up for a good time there. We have some more 10 hours ahead. 5 HP, and a dream. Yep, that's fine. We'll sit down and we'll do it. Yeah, he even got the hat and everything. Okay, let's not softlock the game. This is what didn't trigger earlier. No softlock. Sadly, not in the party this time. Yo, I almost softlocked there. That encounter was so close to. I'll save later, before the oil boils. Second. Trying to get a cookie out of the bag is mission impossible with one hand. There you go. Yeah, that happened to me as a kid too. I never got Carbuncle or Leviathan. That pissed me off so much. And the big one is Siren, actually. Because if you skip Siren, you just make the game so much more difficult for yourself. Siren is the only GF that can learn Life Refine in the game. And from Life Refine you get your Kuragas, your lives and all that, which increases your HP massively. Without Siren, you're stuck on drawing normal cures for your HP. Much later in the game, Kuras, and much later in the game, Kuragas. That's a huge one to skip. Oh yeah, another thing we're gonna be doing in all side quests is beating all of the bosses in the Ultimisia Castle, including Omega Weapon. I do consider that a side quest. We gotta do the dog side quest too, in Dolet. You know, I believe I'm gonna put Quetzalcoatl on Squall so I can have access to HP Junction. I could not get the 20 AP during the tank battle, unfortunately. I messed up the cell, me break a little bit. If you don't deal enough damage to overkill the tank, you don't get the AP for it. The battle ends before the tank dies, you know? So you just need to deal enough damage in one go to actually kill it. It's a call to him, attack. Now we can heal and have the battle be a little bit safer. A little bit safer. Siren was beat up, but drum once and live in a sewer with Laguna. Yes, you're right, man. Your quiz time. Anybody know this one? You're getting so many levels. Hey, Haxflu, does it work after all the son of Queen of Cards? I haven't been able to refine a cast. Oh, I think I got it wrong. Oh, man, I was excited. It would be huge if I could do that. It would actually save me 20 minutes on the speedrun or so, or more. That's sad. That's a randomizer fun where your girlfriends have ability to turn around and bosses randomize. So I got Silent on Barry on CD4, Castle Viole. Was the replacement on Omega Weapon with Diablo's ability. So run Moss with no invisible draw points finder. Yes. Yeah, that sounds about right, mate. Randomizer is crazy. The Japanese version, choosing this option is the slowest one because Squall keeps talking. In the English version, he just doesn't say anything. There's a lot of differences like that with the English version. Squall is just like a much different character in general. Okay, yeah, that's another thing. Even in the Spanish version, he doesn't say hardcore lines like that very often. Because they based the Spanish version into the Japanese version too. Okay, I don't remember. It's been years, but I don't remember Squall being that obnoxious with any line like that. I think that's a trait they just put in the English version. Like spamming whatever. I'm gonna save now. Johnson Squall, give Quetzalcoatl back to Urban. We're gonna be getting soon one of the cards along the way. Because my next opportunity to get the safer card is on the Dea house, and by then there is the random rule in place, which is a bit annoying to work around. So this is the single best spot to get the cipher card once you get called to go to Fisherman, because I spawn next to Sith. And beforehand, you could get it a lot earlier in Balam, but your only chance to spawn next to him is when he gives you the lamp. And at that point you cannot play cards with him. You have to exit the screen and then go to his office if you want the safer card. So that is slow. So getting it right now, right before the Fisherman Horizon, is the actual optimal spot. The safer card. That is if you don't want to deal with the random card later. Why is this trigger always so annoying? I get it later. Because if you get it early, what I tend to notice is you have like a 10% chance of Madinch to play the shell card. But if you wait for later, for some reason, you just place it all the time. Like on the... once you are on the DS3, you will get a fish try almost guarantee. So that's why I wait the shell card. While if you get it early, you can play 15 games in a row and still not see the card. I mean, talking to Quistis in the secret area and say then go to a wall was wild. That one was not in the Spanish version. Pretty sure it's not in the Japanese version either, or any other version really. It's what I said earlier. In the English script, they changed the personality of Squall to be a lot less likable in general. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess it was popular back then to be edgy, but they definitely did change the script in many of the things the Squall says. When I played the game in English the first time, I thought the Squall was a jackass most of the game. You know, I was like, bro, like he's just rude many times. But when I played in Spanish, I just got the concept that, you know, he's just like a cold person, like a distant person. That's it. It was like a different vibe, you know, to the character. My guess is the English translators thought that maybe the Squall personality was too dull, decided to spice it up a little bit. Would be my guess. I cannot get the card yet. We gotta wait until we go to Fisherman Horizon. No, he does speak. The way he speaks is just distant, you know? He's not rude about it. He doesn't tell people to go talk to a wall or leave me the fuck alone, you know? Like stuff like that. He does in the English version. Yeah. No, I don't speak Japanese, but I talked over the years with many, like, Japanese people who played this game too. And they all came to the same conclusion. Like in English, it's just rude many times for no reason. It makes sense, it still grows on you, you know? He still goes through his character grow and all that. It's just that the first impression is a bit more rough. We can one day if you guys want. I play through the Spanish version and I translate everything they say in real time. So you can see the difference. That's something we can do one day. Is it as rough around the edges in Spanish as well? Not really sure. I mean, he still is at his core a flawed character. The first impression of Sid when I was a kid, he was just like an old man, you know? Like the director, not much else. A bit of a dork at times. Alright, correct. Yes. Only one character, and I got all the data available. Let's go! Free hire all day. Bushuru, Bujuru. Alright, we need to draw Leviathan here. Let's not forget. Or we don't need to. It's not necessary for all side quests, but you know, I want to. Damn it. That was bad. Let me... Okay. So sometimes you couldn't target him or attack. You can. Let's go fat plus order of... Yeah, I only have the Final Fantasy ones. That's right, you got it, Star Ocean. You just gotta balance it. You spy Diane once, your damage in battle is fractionate. What do you mean? Well, the strongest DPSs need to balance it so they don't get aggro. Too much damage is a problem. It's meant to be a problem. It's a problem you have to solve. Cognize L1 back in the infirmary. You hear? Don't lowers? Well, I hope not. That would be interesting. L1 definitely remembers the Squall. No such luck otherwise. Like a major plot point. You read faster. Hello. This is the moment to get the card. We need to not spread the rules because that could be a disaster later on. Okay. 7 over there, so watch out. I'm not recapture anything that I put, but I can lure it with Ifrit. There it goes. Oh, he fucked up. Okay, fucked up. I make the thing much simpler. Come on, play the stupid card. Play it. Play. Cannot play that over there. Let's spice things up a little bit. Be careful, cause... Yeah... Dude, Sith is such a bad player. He's doing terrible plays. Speaking of terrible, where is the Cypher card, man? Come on, play it. It's fine. Sure that's fine. Oh, you want? There is the Cypher card. Okay. Oh, I get the opener. 7. No, it's up. Boom, Cypher card. We catch up with chat a little bit. Let's Marlboro card. Have 24 and you don't need to steal Cal Marlboro's thing. Yeah. Time to farm cards. I do have a slightly better strat, likely. Or we had the in the middle of a crisis. How about a game of Went? At this space station is gonna blow. How about a game of Triple Triad? I never thought about that way. But yeah, it's kinda the FF8 way, right? There's always time for Triple Triad. No such thing for a bad moment on Triple Triad. The missiles are coming. Squall. Quickly press the button. But before that, you want a quick Triple Triad card match? I mean, like that. And Squall and Irvine do the epic handshake. Yo, congrats on beating Nukem plus 69, mates. Yeah. Reno on the ending when she's embracing Squall when he's about to die. Squall, do you think we can beat Like a quickie one. What? A quick triple triad match. Oh, yeah, sure. And then Squall vanishes as he plays triple triad. I don't know if I have shotgun ammo. I forgot to buy them on the Laguna Drain. Yeah, I don't. I have to do that later. Brother, where's the limit break? Damn it. Oh, that was bad, mates. I can't believe I didn't go to attack at all. Luckily, this is the last of the bad battles on this route. Because next, we go into the Odin place. Dealing with Odin. And we are drawing 100 triples. Controller, please. You guys think they sell shotgun ammo here? I probably won't need it that much anymore, but you know, to have it in tandem, how it's supposed to be. You know, it doesn't feel like I streamed 6 hours today at all. More like a couple. I've been having a lot of fun today with you guys, actually. We got some fun conversations. Mostly me complaining about all the newer Final Fantasies. Controller, please? Don't die on me. Ultimately, Squall being a little bit ruder in the English version compared to other versions is not a big deal in general, because like it just sets up the character a bit more to experience more growth, you know. And he goes through all the growth through the game, even on the English version. We need to download a Demoguri mod and everything. Hopefully that's not gonna take a zillion years. The Demoguri mod in FF9. I think it will take years, fortunately. Let me handle selfie. What, getting pitied by Squall? Yeah. We seem to be doing pretty good in FF bot. Hold on, this party. We're not used. Yeah. Those stars, like from the Ds2 and onwards, start to, you know, be a little bit more friendly. By the way, mates, a little trivia here. You guys know about the cell love quest that I mentioned earlier, right? Well, one of the triggers is right now. If you don't do it right now, while Erwin is here, you will never get the good ending on the cell love quest. It is so scuffed. You hit select, you get up, and instead of giving him feedback, you just walk out. You gotta go back to the garden. This trigger alone is the main reason why so few people have probably ever seen the good ending on the cell love quest. Once again, you can plus 100. That's it. Look, everything here. Look, she doesn't even show up unless you go here. How hidden is this? There you go. That's it. That is a super hidden trigger. You will never like randomly encounter it. You can only do that if you follow a guide, and even then, most guides don't mention this. Only the most up-to-date, like the most modern ones. Finding this out and make this public. Yeah. I don't think this cell love quest was an official guide either. That's why the guys from back then in game facts, most of them don't even mention this. What was that? We're not gonna softlock now, right? Okay. That was very weird. We got stuck like that. People don't know if a nice before limp with the family Europe. I think it was probably a pretty similar situation, right? Very likely. Reno is an alien. And Edea is a potato. Well, that's kind of true, yeah. Hyper thin, super long limbs. That was maybe the beauty standards in Japan back then. Because I know Rinoa was kind of modeled to be like a Japanese idol at the time. That was insane. Rinoa is a psychopath too. He just pushed Irvine down the stairs earlier and acted like nothing happened, and now he pushed Squall down a cliff, acting all cutie. What if the solar panel broke and then Squall fell all over the place with crystals everywhere? Would she still be acting cute? After causing that? Rinoa, what have you done? You just killed the Squall. What have you done? Nope. Let's go. Okay, we need to make a party now of Rinoa and Irvine, because we're going to Odin. But first, we need to continue with the cell love quest after forming the party. Double or single? Well, admittedly, she's probably one, right? If she was double, she would be called L2, I imagine. Nah, not really. They have no... Well, no, actually, they do, yeah. L1 and Squall are brother and sister. They share the same mother. Not the same father, but they share the same mother. So, siblings. I thought for a second you meant Rinoa. I was like, no, they have no blood relationship. But almost. Rinoa and Irvine. I continue with the cell love quest. I think they're calling. I'm back, mates. My imagination. I might take a 10-minute break here. Second one in the day. I think I'm gonna need some very serious. Oh, cell is alright. Definitely is not the reading type. When is the next trigger? Deconsated. Okay, this continues the quest. I have to do it twice. There you go. After this, we need to wait until the Balam is liberated with Cell, talk with a girl in Balam, and then to the pigtail girl again. A small window. Yeah, I saw it earlier. That one is an insane trigger. We were talking about it because that's the type of trigger you will never ever find out without a guide. And it is not in most of the guides. They are in the most modern guides in GameFAQs, but not the really old ones. Because I'm pretty sure this was not documented either in the official guide, in the one Square Enix was selling. Now, that I have no evidence, but that would be my guess, that that's why it's not in so many old guides. Alright, we're gonna be doing a detour now, because we are going to Odin right away. There is a good reason why I do it now and not later. That is because if I do Odin now, I get 100 triples without Karmoth. With 100 triples, I will bamboozle the D's 2 and 3, so it's better to get it as quickly as possible. And we have to do it anyways, because we need the Odin card. So we will have to do it sooner or later anyways. Now, we will leave the Tomberry farm for later, once I'm a goth. The Tomberry farm is not necessary for all cards. But you know, we're not doing all cards, we're doing also all side quests. And I consider the Tomberry be a side quest. We're doing it. Let me see my menu here. Switch to F, Auto Magic, Draw Magic, Item, Half, Auto Magic. Wait, no, that I think it is. I do not have non-encounters, right? Because I died on tanks. Unfortunate. I'm missing, like, whatever. There is a debug thing. There is a debug function they left out here on accident. I'm pretty sure they got plenty of debug options that get activated whenever you're holding a square entering on a screen. And they left out one in here. It allows you to go to the Odin battle right away with like 47 seconds in the timer. My guess is one of the last things they were testing here was what happened if you get a game over during battle in Odin. Like if you get a time over during Odin battle. And they were just testing that. That's why it sets up to like super a low time inside the Odin screen. And I do not know, there might be other instances where if you hold a square entering on a screen, so some other stuff happens. But I think nobody has really tried it, in all honesty. Like nobody has sit down to hold the square the entire, or in all the screens in the game. I don't remember if I'm picking the right stair. Yeah, you can do it that way too. But the problem is I need to, in a normal speedrun of all side quests, I will do that. But because I'm doing all cards, I need to draw 100 triples, unfortunately. So I can, like, I just won't have enough time to do the square trick, unfortunately. If I wasn't doing all cards and just all side quests, then yeah, that would be efficient. Unfortunately, I need to waste like 3 minutes or so getting 100. Okay, guys, I will need you to pay attention in chat and type the code in chat for me to read and remember. Just type it on chat once it lands. A lot better, yeah. The triples are just super cracked. It will allow me to one-shot absolutely everything on the game. And it's all on the way. It's something I have to do anyways. Like 2 minutes. 28157. 28157. 28157. Oops. Type it on the chat, mates. Thank you, EVM. Yes. Thank you. This is officially has become a co-op percent, mates. 5, 7. It would have been funny if suddenly everybody started spamming messages in chat for me to having to scroll up for the code. I wonder what they put in the co-op of the F9 battles. It was just, I think, a reference to how they did it in FF5 and FS. Probably something for, you know, your little brother to play with you. It probably took no effort to implement, so it was just like a free addition. Airpine, okay, ripples. As you can see, this is a lot faster than getting 100 tornadoes. And it's the far superior magic too, for strength. And again, this is something we have to do anyways, along the way. The only hard rule of how I set up the all cards for my speedrun is you need to have the yellow star at the end of the D3. Once you hit the D4, you are allowed to just refine absolutely every single materia and finish the game. Every single card and finish the game. But as long as you get the yellow star by the end of the D3, then you're good. If you refine any of the important cards, you will get a green star instead. Regarding strength, quake, tornado, no, triple is the best. Almost everything. It's 100. It's finished. Engnon, let's go. Another card. Fantastic. Engnon. Magic. Change triples to squad. Look at the difference now in damage. From 78 to 140. Double the strength. That doesn't mean double the damage. Just so you guys know. That means way more than double the damage. I don't know why it's stairs, lol. That's a mistake. That Namog is still possible. Lucky Jansen. Yeah, it's fine. Magin will take 200 AP or so. I much prefer to have non-encounter from Diablos, which I just got. But we don't need the option. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that there is no easy way to get it for now. If I allow it green card in 100% cards, the run will be like a lot different too. Like if I allow it the green star. But you know, back then I just took the decision not to, so we gotta do it like how it's meant to be. I think Metako was the first one to run all cards in this style, and I think he did allow with the green star by the end of the D3. I don't remember, it's been a while. But you know, each runner has his own rules in a gimmicky category like this. Right, switch, Irvine, Squall, Rinoa, Erwin, auto attack, which I did. Then, who's Carbuncle again? Carbuncle, and you can be so much faster still. Ifrit, fine for later. Diablos is fine. Siren, move fine. This will help with one card. Well, with several cards actually. That's gonna be for the Queen of Cards manipulation. And then there is no need for a Squall to be at low HP anymore. Well, that was a horrible menu, but I mean, I'm rusty. I haven't run. I don't run all cards very often, mates. I have to go reading my notes. Alright, Star Ocean. You complain a lot here about FF, but the reality is I can't do anything about it right now. If you want to offer feedback, put it on the feedback channel. In here, the only thing I can tell you is, okay, dude, I really cannot do anything about it, you know. I get that you like the game very, very much. Probably not the best complaint about the game. However, you can put all of that in the feedback channel on Discord. I always go through it, and whenever I do like developing time, I always go through what it says in there, take into account that is on development time, which is not gonna happen for a little while. Oh my god, third one. Don't die on me, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, time to draw Pandemona. Hopefully no tornado opener like that. Is Servine gonna survive? I'm not sure. It is. Beautiful battle. I was about to write. Don't forget to draw Garuda. In other versions, Pandemona is a GF that they changed a lot across the versions. In Spanish, it's called Eolo, which I think is one of the names for... I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something along the lines of like a Greek god, the god of wind or something like that. I think in German also has a different name. I tend to continue with the Cell Love quest, mates. Another very secret hidden cutscene. This one only triggers if you have Cell with you and you go to Balam, not the garden, the city. If you don't do all of these secret triggers, you actually don't get the good ending on the quest. I really don't know what they were thinking. Yo, Ortho, what's up? Supposed to be here. Is the girl? We need to re-enter. I can't remember actually. We need to wait here until she pops or something as he walks in. I can't remember this. Let me check another guide. Okay, apparently this is not even part of the quest. I don't know. This girl over here doesn't even advance on the thing at all. Amazing. Next one is here. How are you doing today, Ortho, mate? Depending on how many triggers you get, you can see more of the conversation. Yeah, it's just super cool, honestly. Here. The library and find a school. Wait, no, I already did this trigger actually. Party reading this one. There it is. That was the conversation. By the way, cool thing about this, mates. They're gonna give Cell a questionnaire of 3 questions. This is a super unique aspect on this game that also is not documented on any of the guides. Okay? This is something I tell you, because this is how it works. Whatever combination of 3 that you choose, like 1, 2, or 3, or 2, 3, 2, or 2, 2, 1, whatever combination you choose, will put at the end of the Cell Love quest, or at the end of this, I don't remember, it will put 1 magic on Cell's inventory. 1. And it can be Flare, can be Fire, can be Ultima, can be Meteor, you know? It will put 1 single copy of 1 magic. Why does that matter a lot? Well, that matters a lot because when you do Final Fantasy VIII No Junction Challenge, you're not allowed to have draw, right? Meaning that you never get any magics through the entire game. It's impossible. Why does that matter if you cannot junction anyways? Well, here's the thing. If you do the right combination of magics and get 1 Meteor spell on the inventory of Cell, the only magic you can get in the entire game without drawing, this right here, you can pass it on to Rinoa. So when she becomes Sorceress Rinoa and use her limit break, she will use whatever magic is on her inventory at 4 times the magic power. So, and it doesn't get consumed. So from there on, you have a super cracked Rinoa, Sorceress Rinoa, that spam super powerful meteors on no junction. How cool is that, mates? That's one super cool trick you can do if you ever want to punish yourself with no junctions. Also, look at this NPC. I don't think you can see him anywhere either. Alright. Let me see if we got the magic with Cell. I guess they give it later. I think it probably was towards the end of the of the love quest. That's honestly crazy. Yeah, you have to use it. Cable was the one who figured this out. This is not in any guide. Wait a second. There's one more. Before heading to the Travia Garden. Oh, there's another trigger. There's some arcane knowledge. Yeah, Professor El Body. I only know because Cable routed no Jansians, and everybody in Red Achievements that wanted to master the set back then, we have to go through it. And honestly, without Cable notes, forget about it. You will never be able to do no Jansians, really. Very, very few people in the planet were able to. Aramanio is one of them, for example. Is it now? Remember. Before heading to Travia Garden, you can visit the library. Wait, this trigger I already done. So I don't one of the triggers way sooner than I was meant to, so it's probably fine. The next one is after visiting Travia. We finally found all the family glitches, so we'll try to find some stuff. I think so, mate. There's gotta be glitches on this game. I was just talking about earlier that in the Odin place, they left out one debug option where if you hold the square button when you enter in on the Odin place, you get teleported right away onto the Odin fight with 47 seconds left on the timer. And my guess was on the last days before release, a tester was just trying what happens if you get a time over with Odin. So he just put it in the game like that, and then they forgot to remove it. So that's something you can do right now in the game. And I was wondering if, because nobody has tried to do that in every other screen in the game, I wonder if there is more stuff like that, where if you hold the square or any other combination of buttons, you get to trigger stuff you're not supposed to trigger, or bugs or weird stuff. It's just, this is a very unexplored game when it comes to bugs. And there is some documented bugs that you can replicate almost everywhere, but just nobody has done it. Like the Diablos glitch is one of them. When you fight Diablos on the PC version for the first time, the next menu that you open gets completely cancelled. That includes forced menus, like when you, they tell you, we need to choose a party of 3. Choose who you want to get with your squall. But before you do a Diablos fight, that menu gets skipped. So you end up with going squall solo to places you're not supposed to go. You're supposed to have like a party of 3. And for the most part in my testing, that just ends up in like softlocks. You know how you can choose your party before going to a Laguna Dream? Like choose who you want to be Laguna, who you want to be Kyros, and who you choose to want to be Ward. You can do that menu, and you can do that glitch, and what ends up happening is that Squall itself gets teleported to the Laguna Dream, and things break. Shit, man. The controller has been main character as fuck. Guys, will you give me 10 minutes? I really need to stretch my legs. I'm starting to feel it. I'm gonna pass the timer here. Put the PRB here. The squall inside the Laguna Dream is on point for the lore. It's like the actual nightmare. Yeah. It's just funny. It ultimately just lends to softlocks. You cannot move a squall anywhere. It's like the game gets confused. But it's very easy to try. Anyways, I'm gonna 10-minute BRB, mates. Let us continue. We're gonna be getting a couple of cars here. We're gonna be doing a cool strat for the cars. I'm just about to refine every single normal card that I have. So when dealing with the random rule, I only get good cards in the pool. Q. Yes. By the way, I am Portuguese. I'm kidding, I am Spanish. Elbot visit Brazil. Beer. Obrigado. Brasil número 1. Valentina Stream. Sorry, Spanish a bit. Can't really Portuguese. No, I was kidding. EBM. I am Spanish. Yeah. Actually, they both mean the same. Wonder if they have similar origin. Nothing ruins the day more than telling to a Portuguese if they speak Brazilian. It's almost the same whenever tell me if I speak Mexican. Oh, I see. That might be why Japanese pronounce the vocals in exactly the same way as Portuguese and Spanish. When it comes to pronunciating and enunciating vocals, there is very little. It's not like in English where you can pronounce one vocal in 7 different ways. Japanese, Spanish, and Portuguese are almost identical, like an easy transition. Obrigado, gozaimasado. Gomena, pardon. When I talk, it's for me more Spanish, not Portuguese. Yeah. I am Spanish. I was just kidding. Yo estaba bromeando. Era una broma. Broma means joke. El bromista. No way, Bakura! Yo, sire, thank you so very much for the raid. So, bro, yo, your raids are getting bigger and bigger every time, mate. At first it was like 1, then it was 2, and now it's 3. Tomorrow it's gonna be 4, mate. It's gonna be your progress is far bigger than most streamers, let me tell you. Most streamers just stack at 0. You're going like 1 every day, 1 up. In a couple of weeks, you're gonna pass me. How are you doing, mate? How was your streaming? What were you doing? You guys see that they're gonna change how YouTube views work on the 24th this month? Now, before, only like real views will count in the sense that people who watched the video at least for 30 seconds, or, you know. But from now on, every single view, even if you look at it for like a frame, is gonna count. So you're gonna see very inflated view counts on pretty much every video. They do that with shorts, apparently, and you guys know how many millions of views the shorts have. So starting on the 24th, we might start to see a boom on the YouTube. It does. I believe it has more to do with making it pretty for ad revenue guys. I forgot the name. For the sponsors. It's less useful, but they don't need to know about it, right? I would imagine is the angle about it. It is kind of weird. It's also kind of weird how straight it was, because I mean, most of the supercuts that I put on YouTube and everything, they don't, like, they're stuck at 0 views, right? That's normal. I don't expect them to be more than that. But I know for a fact they get visits, because they definitely get clicks. I got the ads for, I got the, like, not the ads, I got the statistic for the clicks and all that. And, you know, it's much higher than 0 viewers, like maybe 20 or 30. But they stick around for like 3 seconds, they watch the video and they go, what is this? And they click out, you know? Which means that the video gets stuck at 0 views, which is fine. That's probably the way it should be. But now it's just gonna be counting. I don't know what type of impact it's gonna have, but I will imagine they are doing that because sponsors. Really the only thing I can think of. I think probably everybody would prefer to see like the real view, even if it's like super strict, you know. Probably having to watch a video for 30 seconds is a bit much, but you know, not to mention bots. I'm pretty sure, you know, bots go scouting videos like on the daily. My partner came and just guessed you were Spanish. Hola, hola. Nice. What gave it away? I asked them what gave it away. Was it my accent? The way I was speaking? My voice? What was it? 100% is that. Alright, we're getting started. Oh, really? Well, that means I can work on my accent a little bit to make it more American. One day I would love to do that. Card mode, very perfect. This might take a few attempts, because they have same rule and not open, so I cannot check which card they have, so I cannot fight against same plus. And for that reason, I go out of my way after doing this. Save the game. Speaking of American, realistically it takes 3 generations for the accent, or yeah. Well, I know, but I think it's always good to strive to improve, right, on something. To me, having like a proper either British, Australian, or American accent, to me is an improvement over my accent, which is not bad, you know. It's not a bad thing. But ideally, in a perfect world, you know, I will speak like that too. Can always work on it. I'm just so lazy. Okay, let's see. I don't remember which A selfie was this pain. Ooh, you done fucked up. You fucked up. Okay, time to play games for the missus. Have a great evening. Okay, you too, Bakura, mate. Take care, mate. Thank you for the raid again. No same plus. What is the selfie card? That's how you deal with random same plus mates. That's how you do it. Again, losing all the cards is no big deal, because later on I'm gonna be getting way many more normal cards that, you know, by just dealing with the CC card quest. Guys, we're at 38 degrees. I saw it on the street earlier when I went for a walk. 38 at 10 PM is crazy. 38 Celsius. Yeah, it can only be described as crazy. Oh, that means that the race is on? Wait, I might be able to beat FF8 before you guys. You guys need to keep failing. We die, yeah. What? Wait, so we're here because of New Game Plus down? No, but it only counts this one. It only counts this one. I'm just moving the post call. Like 1.5 2 hours time. Alright, mate. See you later, hopefully. Well, you know how it is, Hackru. I'm the boss. I get to change rules as I want. Sometimes it is like that. We got the misplaced sprite at the bottom. You guys remember if Jill can jump back to position? I don't think she does, right? She shouldn't be able to jump back on her own. We would need like a character like a Squall or something. Might need another. So speaking of, I was debating maining Locke instead of Fire this season. I think with a good setup it's difficult to die with good luck. Are we hitting on the millions already, by the way, mates? Or not quite yet? But I will need to check if somebody has posted a build on the Discord with Locke. Oh, Rico Edge, Barret are my favorites right now. Ooh. Barret is really underrated, I think. Most of the enemy attacks have element attached to them. with notable exceptions such as like Jet, Sephiroth. Ban, he should be dealing good damage, but be careful to not echo too much, the aggro might be difficult to handle. I tried to get good super stats on him, as well as looking for bats over Atto. Yeah, that sounds good. I like dark characters a lot this season. They got one semi-free added damage proc in one of the materials. Both Garland and Leon, they actually pull up a lot of damage. I've seen it on solo quite a lot. And with Echo is pretty nice. His conditions are the same as Cell and Stephas. Yeah. And Traveler works just very well late game on the stage. And I'm fairly sure a good ban will always hit damage cap on Traveler. It's likely worth it to put Limit Breaker materia on him. I think the maximum base potency was 100 on Traveler towards the end stages. That includes the Fallen Heroes. 100 potency is almost equal to the super limit breaks from like characters like Sephiroth. It rivals that potency. Squall, Dark Side, Initiative, fantastic. Faris is likely... Both Faris and Ingus are receiving big nerfs next quote-unquote season. The Season 6 expansion one. There's a lot of characters that are getting nerfed. But I'm also reworking many characters. The expansion one is focused on a lot of like content like that. It's gonna focus a lot more in character individuality. So I'm gonna be reworking many old characters to make their kits more modern. You guys can probably tell many of the older characters, you know, their kits are like very lackluster or simple with not much going on them. That's because they were made 2 years ago. You know, but as I progress on FFBot over the seasons, little by little I learned to make more interesting characters and more varied characters. So every now and then I rework some of the old ones. This past season, I only reworked Squall, unfortunately, because I ran out of time with all the things that I wanted to make. And rewards was very low on the list of priorities. Oh shit, Irvine HP. I didn't pay attention. Is the Diamatron getting nerfed? No, only the most notorious ones. One thing I will tell you, however, Season 6 Expansion 1 is gonna be a very significant increase on difficulty. Be ready to be stuck in New Game Plus 5 for a couple of days and stuff like that. Even though it's called Season 6 Expansion 1, I am building it as a new season. And it will have all the new season shenanigans. Just using the systems of Season 6 as a basic, but far refined, far improved. The focus on content and character individuality. One of the bigger changes, this one I already mentioned, so I can mention, is the sub stats are getting a gigantic buff. For example, per materia, aggro goes from 16 to 100. Per materia. So tanks don't need to worry about damage. The other aspect is most enemies are gonna have more than 3 times the HP. So reaching the damage cap is gonna be difficult. And that's why there is a gigantic bump to the aggro as a substat. I want tanks to not have to worry about the damage they cause, but rather their aggro. That's my vision for it. Like I just want them to be worried about aggro management and surviving. That's it. Just seem like a super strong foundation. Yeah. I am adding one new substat too, substat, but it's only accessible by characters marked as healers. I haven't decided what to do yet if I want to add other special substats for other roles. This just came out to mind. This is not in my design document yet, but one thing that I could do is just make characters level as tank or that they have the taunt thing to be able to roll aggro on their sub materials. Another big problem that I'm 100% addressing is, you know, the upgrade spam. I wanted to make it far simpler to get what you want, far easier, while the game itself is gonna feel much more difficult, you know. In Fallen Tidus Day 1 was a mistake. Well, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's better to try and fail than not try at all with those things. The Fallen Heroes, they are not getting nerfed at all. Just so you guys know, they are still gonna be balls hard. If anything, they're gonna be harder than before because of this new scaling. Among many other surprises that I'm not ready to show. Although the other day in a stream, I accidentally flashed on a stream my design document with all the things coming on Season 6 Expansion 1. That was a bit of a blunder. Hopefully nobody catched that. I won't say where it was, but there is a lot of surprises and a lot of changes. You know how I always go for gigantic swings on how the game feels in every season? Season 6 Expansion 1 is going to be more of the same. Like in the sense that it's just going to be a wildly different game compared to right now. That's the way I designed the season. I tried that actually. One of the planet rewards for Cecil this season was to split Dark Cecil and Paladin Cecil into 2 different characters. And Paladin Cecil was gonna be the one that had the game as a cover tank, but unfortunately, yeah, I ran out of time. I was literally coding down to the last day of launch. It was gigantic. Like, the amount of work Season 6 took was unprecedented. I was literally like 2 months coding every day for like 8 to 12 hours. Because I just keep refusing to use AI for coding. And I'm not like a professional programmer, you know, I'm a hobbyist. I just learn it on my own, and that's kind of what I do. I'm just slow, I make many mistakes. Debugging takes a long time. That's just the FFbot experience, man. I guess everybody's just used to the FFbot bugs by now. Hopefully, you know, it's not a deal breaker. Yeah, it's not like there is zero use of AI, but it's like very sparse, very sparse. I pretty much just design everything in like the most scuff ways that I can think of, and I just sit down on my own to do it. Because my goal was just to learn programming. It still is. If I make AI do it for me, I don't know, you know, it's that. To me, that's foreign. That's not what I want to do. I could do it if I wanted to make the game better, I'm sure. But you guys just have to endure both for what it is, you know. I never even meant it to be like a public game, if that makes sense. When I was running it, Season 0 on my own channel, a lot of people was just asking me to put it out there for everybody, and that's what I did. And now, but yeah, I love Godot. My next game is also using Godot, and I was at Crossroads sometime back in March. I was talking with a friend, and we're both like programmers, and I was debating if to end Season 6 as the last patch, which I'm still debating, be the last of it, and just move completely to Unity for my next project. It's gonna be a commercial project, and I will just sell on Steam. With my own style, as you always know, like what you guys see in FFbot is kind of like what you can expect from my next project. But you know, made by me, drawn by me, completely made on my own, completely separate from copyright material. Yeah, I've been using Godot for a couple of years. The one thing that worries me, if let's say my project grows and I start to do relatively well, right? With Godot, I'm kind of stuck to release it on Steam. But if I were to master Unity, let's say take 1 extra year of development, learning it properly, you know, figuring out and translating my current knowledge to Unity, that has good things to it, because then I could release very easily. I could export the game to both Sony and Switch. Godot doesn't have the ability to do so because Unity does have I'll explain in a second. Unity has the ability to export to Switch because Nintendo has given development kit and development, I don't know, exporting tools to Unity. In Godot, because it's an open source game, it's an open source engine, Nintendo is not willing to, so it's much more difficult, not impossible, but it's much more difficult to release your game on the Switch, for example, if you're using Godot. It's not as simple as just clicking the export button. It's a cut when making money. Yeah, a little bit, but you need to be getting at least 1 million. If I'm getting $1 million with my game, you bet as hell I don't care if I have to pay 10% of it. You know? Like, at that point, my life is solved. It's not something I'm worried, you know. I'm never gonna be getting to those numbers. Prototype games a long time ago. Unity, you cannot expand the engine itself. Yeah, it's fine. As long as it allows me to make the game, it's probably fine. Like, let's say, if I make a Godot game, and let's say it's moderately successful, like I sell, I don't know, 2,000 copies or whatever, then I want to release it on the Switch. If I make it on Godot, first of all, I will need to ask permission to Nintendo for a development kit, you know, so they can hand me the keys and all the things, the API, like all the systems that they use for their games. And I could figure that out on my own, which probably is hopeless, or I could hire the help of a publisher where they will get like a cut of all the sales on my game if they accept my offer. And let's say they get like 60% and I get 30% for a Switch port. And because they have, you know, access to the Switch development kit or whatever, and they do the port for me, but then I only get like a 30% of the sales, you know. Shit, I need to kill Cerberus. It's far more complicated than that, but that's the basis of it. So ultimately, I have chosen to stay with Godot for the convenience of it, because I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. It's not so easy because you still have access to the Switch library and all that. That's not public knowledge. That's kits that the companies have to buy for, you know, like being able to publish on the Switch. Do it again. Yo, we were actually on Cerberus, both of us. Lol, look at this. And that is, mind you, only if a publisher accepts to port my game. Getting a publisher to accept your game is already an uphill battle on its own. Even guys like the Stardew Valley developer struggled so much to get a publisher for Stardew Valley when he started. a bit far out of the scope right now to do that analysis. That's not in the plans yet. You can sort of do that if you use a different character that is similar. Have two different loadouts. Is there in the Discord, mates? I haven't, because of this marathon, I have not been able to be on the Discord all that much. But is there a build for Lock in there? I know that people have been building like incredible guides. I would like to copy the build if I can. Well, it is, but it's not as simple, Haxblue. You cannot just make a Switch game without a development kit, even if it is exactly the same language. Otherwise, you know, every Godot game will be in there. Yeah. Also, what Ortho says, I do program not in C, but I program in GDScript. GDScript, for what I've seen, is extremely similar to Python. Like, built around the same principles. Again, I'll put this example. Let's say you want to go to a disco that they have a dress etiquette. You go, you present yourself, you go with your friends, you have the dress etiquette, correct? That is the programming language. The guy at the disco, at the gate, still is gonna tell you no because you look younger, or he doesn't like your looks in particular, so you don't get in. That's what it is publishing a game on Nintendo. You might have absolutely everything ready, that doesn't mean you can publish. That's why you need a publisher that has a reputation. If you want to program your game on your own as a solo developer, far more complicated, you know? Oh yeah, we need a remedy. Eesh. But this is getting dangerous out of nowhere. Please don't kill everyone. Okay, that's fine. That's good even. In Steam, you can self-publish on Steam, no problem. And if you use Unity, you also get access to all the keys and everything, because there's still built-in tools to export to Switch on Unity, but not on Godot, because Godot is an open source. The Nintendo won't share that with the Godot team. Otherwise, it will be available for absolutely everybody. Yeah. Ultimately, that was the way I choose it. That's why also I chose Godot, because I'm expecting my project to be small scale to begin with. Like, I don't think it's gonna get to the point that I will need to expand to other platforms. And it's so much easier. You know, I can just right now pay $100 for publishing my game on Steam, and in 2 weeks it will be out. The Steam page and everything. No fuss, no rush, no approval. There's still approval things, you know. Some Steam agents are still gonna go check your game, check your files. But you know, like, as long as you don't have porn in it or copyrighted material, you're never gonna be treated a rejection from Steam. I can self-publish on my own. It's in my own YouTube channel for promotion with you guys. Just talking to you about the game. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. We're getting a couple of cards now. What? Okay, we got this weird situation bug where you cannot exit manually. For Xbox, I don't know, but for PlayStation, yes, you do. You cannot simply export a game to Sony. And Sony in particular also have extremely strict checks. Like, to the point that games like Diablo, whenever they want to release a patch, even the patch has to go through checks. Which is why they always take time. What am I doing? That's just, you know, publishers' work. In Nintendo Switch you can find tons of shit games, but that's just publisher spamming games. They do have access to the Switch. Well, this is not a great setup, let's say. Okay. Actually, having no open makes it a bit easier, because the AI won't be able to set things as easily. This is why this is one of the trickiest cards to get. But yeah, without, like, if open was active, it would be much more difficult. You son of a bitch. 2 difference. Yeah, it's over. I couldn't do same plus over there. This is why we save. So it's tricky in the sense that you cannot protect yourself against save and plus, but also the AI doesn't set the same and plus as easily. I tried many times to get this card with both open and without open, and I found it much more consistent without open. Because the previous card, like the previous card match that we take is from Balam, you can easily transfer over the open from there. Catch it. Okay. Ooh, okay. No difference. 2, 7, 5, 8. There is 4 difference. How about up there? 5, 2 difference. 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. No, cannot be done in the upper. On the right, it wouldn't matter. I cannot set same plus here. Only thing I can do is play a normal ass move. And play he's not. Okay. Pretty much upper. The only thing I can do is this and pray that he doesn't have a 3 up. Yeah, he does. Okay. Careful what I put on top left. If I put this, it will be able to do same plus easily. If I do this too. So let's do this. Weird setup. Do we trust it? Or do we break it? We could break it with this. Okay. That is 7 difference. Yeah. Can't do that, but I can prevent a same plus. Fuck. 9 difference. 9 difference. Yeah, man. Why did it have to have a 1-1 on the sides like that? Are you serious? Getting unlucky here, mates. Now, I did risk management. I could have played a bit differently. 6 difference. There is no shot. Okay. It's 3 difference over there. It might be able to hit me with that same plus. I knew it. I knew it. Got so fucking lucky. AI is overall getting so lucky with these setups. It just happens to have the right card. Second to last turn. I'm trying to set up 7 plus 2. You know? Look at this. Whoa. You want... Whoa. Why is Java trying to open something? Hello? Unable to launch Java update installer. Fuck Java update installer. Who gave you permission? Pop out of nowhere like that. Ooh. Where's he setting up? Now we have to take a decision. Is he setting up top left or bottom? Or center? More chances is top left. So there is a small difference. It didn't care. Of course it got. 10, 3... Wait, how was that same plus? 10, 12. Huh? Oh, with the button! With the button! I was comparing with safer only. Fuck. Yeah, same plus this. Bitch. To the top left was 2 difference. That was a giga risk to not put it on the top left. 1 difference. This 6, 4, 8. What is 2 difference? We could put it here. Use selfie on the center. Yeah, we can keep saving that selfie on the center. But we kinda have to stop this. Complete on the center. Okay, got you. Didn't matter. I don't have great cards to put here. Put this. Son of a bitch. Okay, so this is 10. This will give me same plus here. And here, in the center, I have 2 difference. I could put this here. So I can trigger same plus in 2 ways. Here. Let's put it here. And depending on what he does now. Well, okay. And I can do this. It's gonna be here for sure. Yep, got you. I ruined his setup, or her setup. I was luckier. Oh, yeah. We never got that magazine. Yeah. Everybody speaks about the prequel with Jet, Braska, and Auron. What is the prequel with Laguna, Ward, Kiros, huh? Yeah. You guys think Laguna and the Queen card hooked up? And the son of the Queen of Cards is the son of Laguna? Maybe. He was never able to tell us. We're already at the D3, my mates. Which means very soon we're gonna be going on a true card collectathon. Make data here for making elixirs later. Getting Doomstring is gonna be tricky. I never routed that, because, you know, I only routed all cards. But I know it involves a giga farm. Particularly the Marlboro tentacles. Very annoying to get. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing. First strike, mag, running the fuck away. I'm gonna do it in the island closest to heaven. Encounter rate over there is like 1 in 10 or so. But if you go to a star, it's like 1 in a million. They're nowhere to be seen. You know what's fucked up? The Malboros, even with first strike, the sometimes scout cannot speed you, because there's a little bit of lag on the remastered version, choosing your inputs. So I'll be lowering the ATB speed like crazy, like to the minimum. No need to kill it. Just kill it. Run. This guy not letting me go from here. Oh man. Wrong floor. What was it? The remedy, 6 remedy pluses, which is gonna be a little bit of a farm. The tentacles and the steel pipes. We're gonna be farming a lot of cactuars, mates. Yeah, I know. You guys are too knowledgeable about this game. Just know everything. Time to get a new card. Shiva, my beloved. This day has passed so fast, for like so fast. It doesn't feel like I've been playing for 8 hours at all, like 2 or 3. This always happens to me whenever I play FF8. Like, I just have such a blast, such a good vibe to me. The chat usually is so good too whenever I play FF8. It is, same. Same with Ifrit. I'm a big fan of FF10 Ifrit, but FF8 Ifrit will always be close to my heart. That guy over there is in higher need, man. He has it rough. He needs a girlfriend real bad. So, right? It was called. Yes. I do have one manipulation for the random in the space for the random rule, but I never been able to make it work. I will give it a try. For some reason, it always fails on the remaster. It was on emulator every time. The remaster is it fails whenever I do it in real runs, which is no big deal. I can still get the card without with the random rule. But you know, dude, this game really feels like home for me. This is gonna be my favorite Final Fantasy of all time to speedrun, and it has nothing to do with me speedrunning this game for 16 years by now. It's just so cozy, so nice. I saw a bit on the space before, had one on you. Yeah, I made my own. It works perfectly fine on the normal Steam version and an emulator, but in remaster it always fails to me. I got no idea why. I will still give it a try. I made a video whose finger. I can check it out. If mine fails again, I'll give it a try to his. Mine is into that guard next to Renoa no once and then cancel any games. On emulator that always removes the random other one. Hey, it works. If it works, it works. You know why another reason why the Dea card is so tricky to get? It's because it has AA on the upper and right position. Most of the best player 1 opener starts with good cards involve putting good numbers on the top left. That's the best way to defend yourself, given the numbers of the good cards at this point. The problem is, if you put a good high number on the top left and she opens with a D on the bottom left with an AA protecting herself, which she does 9 out of 9 times, then you're basically giving her for free a same plus that is gonna take over your big card on the top left, like almost for free. So you're in a position where you are on a 6-4, like she has 6 points and you got 4, and you're competing with a good card on the bottom left and a good card on the top left. The one you just placed it, that got same plus it. That's what's tricky about the card position. That's why I never open, as a player 2, I never open on the top left. Makes the entire rest of the match a bit crunchy. Especially if I see they are already on the bottom left. That's why I put also the Malboro at the bottom instead of putting my Cypher on the top left. 200 now back, 23. How you doing, man? I'm doing great, cousin. Oh shit, I forgot to say about this battle. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Fuck. Okay, I have 5 elixirs, actually. It's fine. I can get 1 extra elixir from the dog. How did I got 5 elixirs? Normally I have 4 at this point. Did I got an extra drop from a boss or something? I have a setup for this battle if I don't have 5 elixirs, which is each one triples and Kuragas, but I forgot to completely set it up. But it didn't matter because I got 5 elixirs. That means now I have 4. The dog will give me my 5th. Why do I need 5 elixirs? Because to get the Poo card, you need to give it 5 elixirs. And elixirs in this game are not easy to obtain. They are very, very limited. You can craft them, but they are extremely expensive and time consuming. So you want to hold for dear life onto your elixirs on the all cards route. I got lucky at some point. One of the bosses might have dropped me an extra elixir. Because normally I have 4 at this point. So that's why I was panicking. It was like, if I use now 1, then I'm gonna be 1 elixir short and I'm gonna have to craft 1. Fucking sucks. I'm doing the dog quest anyways. The dog quest gives you 1 free elixir. Yeah, it's possible. I think that has to be the case. You here, doing a great job. And good to see all cast plus side quests. This game side quest I think I enjoy more than the others apart from 59 to go. Yeah, it's great. There is many stuff to do in this. And for all side quests, I do have like very defined which ones I consider side quests and which ones are not. The majority that you will consider they are not side quests, I add them. So now, one of the notorious things that I don't do on all side quests is, for example, getting all of the magazines or so. Like, I think that's pretty pointless. It doesn't add anything. It just adds cutscenes on the Laguna Dreams, but that's about it. But I do stuff such as getting Doomstrain. I consider that a side quest. Getting Brothers, I consider a side quest, which we have to do anyways because we are doing all cards. So that's around the way. I do the lake. I do the Cell Love quest. Speaking of, I need to roll out again, actually. I forgot one Cell Love quest conversation. Fortunately, can I go back? No! What? We lost on 1 love conversation. Are you serious? Wait, maybe not. No, man. We're still gonna see the ending of the Lost Quest, but we're not gonna be getting the good ending. Fuck. No. Reset the entire game. No, we're still gonna be doing the entire quest. We're still gonna see the ending. We are just not gonna be getting the perfect ending. I always like to show, because not many people in the planet have seen it. It involves some super specific, insane triggers. Fuck, man. That sucks. I forgot, man. I was stalking and I forgot. Forgot, man. There's still a chance that, like the magic on Cell. There's still a chance, by the way, we might get the best ending. Because I think not all of the triggers are required. And I visited already 7 out of 9 triggers. I don't know how many I'm allowed to miss. Is 1 or 2. But if it is 1, then we'll see. If it is 2, we'll be able to see correct ending. If not, then don't. Hey, Slendrea, welcome in. Did you manage to sleep? It's my break with Airpine. No, no need. I'll do the... I need to do the dog quest too anyways, because it's a side quest. So I'll get a free elixir for free anyways. Yo! Let's go, Kasim! You legend! Let me add 1 hour and a half to you. Legend, man. You also get to choose from those challenges left which one you want to put yourself towards. F4 or FF7, I think it was. F4 or FF7. You can choose where you want to put it towards. Yeah, I did. Not sure if it was enough, but I did. Well, a little bit of sleeping is better than no sleeping, right? I still don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Silent Rea or more like Silent Rea or Silent Rea. Like silence. I almost feel like I should say, I don't want to choose a challenge for you. That's fair if you don't want to. Yeah, okay. If you don't want to put it on the challenge, then absolutely fair. That you can do. I appreciate it, mate. Is, by the way, has Swoogie already made it through his AoE community sub goal? I would like to at least join a couple of hours this weekend, if he does. Easy, yes. It is supposed to be said soon. Over Lotus Seichi, Seisan. Gasm. Oh, yeah. That one I still struggle a little bit on English to read on the go like that. The CH, like I always say it in like the Spanish way, which is like chasm in this style. I'm still learning on the CHs on English. You're gonna have to endure me every now and then telling you chasm instead of chasm. It's just gonna happen whenever I read it fast, you know. That's just how the brain works for me. But understand that I don't mean it like as a disrespectful thing, or you know, like lack of respect towards your name or you. Just me being stupid. Well, I haven't seen that in years. I have not seen that in years. Chat, you're too distracting. Restart marathon. Oh, don't you worry. I read it so many times during the marathon, mate. Don't you worry. Just, you know, just let it say fun. Don't worry about it, mates. It is fine. You know what is not fine? There is a fly today that has been bothering me the entire fucking day. I really don't know from where they come from. All my windows have been closed all day. Where did it come from? I swear they're probably like coming out from like, I don't know, from the lamp. Like from the hole that is on the lamp. He has been running today 8 hours 43 today. Still more. I still got 2, 3, maybe 4 more hours. Now my goal for this is to do at least 8 hours a day. 8 hours per day on a marathon is a success. But every now and then, like lately I have been doing 12 to 14 hours per day. And I still have energy, so nothing better to do. Now this is important. Every 10 days, mates, because of the intensity of this marathon, every 10 days I have to take 1 day off. That is to take care of my house, take care of my health, take care of, you know, making a little bit of exercise, taking care of like a lot of things around me, you know. I cannot disregard my life for 2 months straight. Every 10 days, I'm always going to be taking 1 day off where I don't stream. I think it's fair. Once every 10 days. That I always do in every marathon. Like, I cannot completely disregard my life. It's a long time. I'm allowed with one day every 10 days. Yeah, exactly. You know, for my own mental health too, I need to not play video games for at least 1 day. Clean my house, do laundry, you know, do the stuff. Talk with my father. That is something I started to do in Long-A-Thon too. And it was a glorious hack. It was like the best. When I started doing it, like the marathon became so much better. Because what happens if you just play non-stop like that, like super grind, you end up becoming like a rotten person. Like you end up being so tired, unresponsive, and you know, like just tired of everything. But the 1 day break was just like the perfect amount for me. It was like, yeah, this is everything I need to disconnect from Twitch and, you know, focus on myself so I can come back strong. So, you know, to not completely disregard my social life. Now, all of my friends know these marathons, you know. They know whenever I do that, then it's kind of like, hey, nice knowing you for a month or 2. They know it and respect it. But, you know, I still don't want to completely disregard all my people for like 1 month straight. Like at least once a week, I want to hang out with them at least once every 10 days. I think as long as I have that 1 day break, just the entire marathon works so well for me. I have no issues. I never feel bad at any point. It's always so much fun, you know. Like at no point get absolutely mentally exhausted. That has been since Long-A-Thon too. Hey, and from there, mates, let's make the Long-A-Thon as long as possible. The PB is 33 days. I want to improve that PB this marathon, if possible. I'll be super down if it is like 2 months straight this time. And the good thing is I have nothing important to do in both August and September. So we can make it last 2 once if needed. Always could take a day or two if needed. Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Ooh. Wait, why is his attack so petty? Alright, trusters, mate. Hopefully you rest well, mate. You rest well. It is Junction, but I think I never auto-attack it. Yeah, there it goes. Not gonna get a fight there. Anything to myself, I do not work. I sit here every day, watching this movie, check runs every day. So I try to get once in a week. I mean, that's fair. You do what you gotta do, man. You do your life in, in the way it works for you. It's, as long as you're happy and healthy, that's all that matters. But you're not always gonna be happy if you show up in the next AOE 2 community thing. Do you know if Swooey has already finished his goal, or I would like to show up on the next one, even if I'm doing the marathon, at least for a couple of hours. I'll be super happy to play with you guys again. If you're playing, I'm not. Wait, I think it was pretty obvious by the end that I'm super noob still. Even Swooey was beating me, and he just picked up the game. Like I'm like negative elo. I think I have like 700 elo. It's like super noob numbers. I don't know any civilization. I don't know the meta game. I don't know how to make openers. I don't know anything. But it was just really fun. Did he hit him? Oh shit! You're gonna be doing it this weekend, you think? I'll hit him up or and ask him. I won't be able to join, like all the matches, but I think I'll join at least a couple of hours. I'll keep doing marathon. Like in AoE 2, I don't even know what the upgrades do or how they work. In the last matches we did, I never upgraded absolutely anything. Like it's because I just don't know what they do. It's okay. I mean, I'll just stream 2 hours of Age of Empires 2 in the middle of it. It's fine. I'll adapt to when he does it. I'll pause the timer and everything. What was that? We need to get the War Call card over here. We need to not mix the rules here, or else it's gonna make a couple of cards later. Very annoying. Guys, I'm so hungry, and right now, because I did groceries today, I have a lot of options. I got some fish, I got lasagna, I can make some pasta, I can make rice, I can make some chicken, and any mixture between all of them. I can make San Jacobo. Fuck! I fucked it up. I fucked it up. I mixed it rolls on accident. Fuck, that's gonna bite me in the ass. You're clearly setting up here on the right, so 32 difference is 4. If I put this 6 and 5, 9, and 11, not too much. Wait a second. 6, 11. No, this works. Okay. Please do not mix. Okay, well, plus is fine. As long as it's not random. Yeah, it's a very obnoxious rule, man. Are you serious? We're doing the Laguna Dream again, mates. Force reset. Man, here we go. Fourth time. If I was doing a speedrun, trying to PB, my PB on this is 12 hours, by the way. All cards have been a run over. No safe in start. There is, but I didn't want to work to it. That was on me. Normally that card is not a problem to get at all. 0 problems. But I accidentally mixed the plus card rule. That was a mistake. I was not supposed to mix them. That ended up costing me. That's okay. I like the Laguna Dream. Who doesn't like the Laguna Dream, mate? Who doesn't like Laguna? We'll watch more Laguna. It's fine. Press 1 in the chat if you are a Laguna fan. If you think Laguna is a likable dude. 2. He hates Laguna! Get him! Sorry, I'm whispering now. It's getting late, mates. Almost 12 PM. Most of my neighbors are probably sleeping by now. 1. Only Ortho likes Laguna. What Hacksbrew hates Laguna too? Like, mate, you guys even human? The Spanish version of FF8 has one tiny mistranslation mistake. That is because the name Laguna kinda derives from Ragnarok, but it's pronounced as Laguna, Raguna, Laguna. Not directly from Ragnarok, but same deal, Laguna, Raguna. So it's typed as such. Why do I mention this? Because in the Spanish version, the airship that you get later on, the Ragnarok, they translated it as the Laguna Mobile. That is important because it has nothing to do with Laguna itself. It's called the Ragnarok, but because they translated Laguna as Laguna in the Spanish version, they figure that the Ragnarok, Ragnarok, was a reference to Laguna, so they translated it as the Laguna Mobile. even though it has nothing to do with Laguna. That is a blunder in the Spanish version, and it got like even the main translator has been interviewed about it, and that's the one mistake they big regretted. The Laguna Mobile, yeah. Laguna MOV is called Laguna MOV, abbreviature of Laguna Mobile. Laguna Mobile. Well, because they assume, the translators at the time assume it was a reference to Laguna, because again, that was the first game that team translated, and they have been translating the Final Fantasy games since, but that was the first one, you know. They didn't understand that Ragnarok is a common name in Final Fantasy. They just assume it was like a reference to Laguna, because Laguna can be read as Raguna with an R. Raguna, Ragnaroku, Raguna, Ragnaroku. Roku, I think you can read as, you know, like a vehicle. So Raguna, Ragnaroku, Laguna, Laguna Mobile. Yeah, it was a mistranslation error. And even 1 month into FF8, there was an interview with the translator and like explained the whole situation. It's kind of like, yeah, we made a blunder with this thing because of this that I just explained it. That same thing, those two same translators have been translated Final Fantasy since. As such, all the nomenclature names that they put on, from Final Fantasy VIII and onwards have been consistent all across Final Fantasies and spin-offs and everything. All references and everything. FF8 started the modern translation in Spanish, and from there it has been consistent since. In English, I feel many names on spells and all that, and many names on enemies kinda like change between Final Fantasies, because they are made by different people. Particularly from 12 and onwards. Like for example, in Final Fantasy Tactics in English, you have Belial, but in Final Fantasy 12 you got Belias. You know, stuff like that. I should heal actually. No, I already heal. Oh my god, the battle on FF bot. Yo, we got Kuja. No way, mate. Kuja? Oh, brother. Everybody join in, mates. Join. Oh yeah, I forgot to back again. Perfect. Let's go. This is gonna be the slowest all cards run that I have ever done. I've made so many mistakes. But you know, on my defense, I haven't touched FF8 since 8 months ago. Okay? In my defense. I'm rusty. And I will be at ton better. Like low, that's not a good enough defense. What do I need to... Wait, what do I need? Perfect excuse. What do I need? Mistakes makes us humans. No, in FF8. It's not good enough, man. Mistakes makes us weak in FF8. I'm gonna save here, actually. You're not speedrunning, but damn, you're right, actually. You two got a point. If his playthrough when you had non-7 and Fusion contra Marlboro, good luck with that, yeah. Yeah, you know the best part? We'll see FF8 again during the marathon, very likely. After we finish with 10 and 12, we'll go round 2, starting from FF1. Yo, welcome back, Starusin. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, right? It would be cool, I think, if I just stream FF8 in Spanish and I just translate to you everything that they say directly from Spanish. I think that'd be kinda fun. It will take a very long time, you know, because I need to like read everything and translate in real time. But I guarantee you guys, the Spanish version is very different from the English version. The thing about the English version is they took a lot of liberties from the Japanese version, while the Spanish version kept it mostly the same as the Japanese. They were very faithful, while in English they took tons of liberties, in particular with the Squall as a character. They made him like way ruder in English for almost no reason, while in Japanese and the Spanish version he's just cold, you know. He's like a far more likable and understandable character. In English, he's just, if you hated Squall while playing in English, the first 3 hours on the Disc 2 or the Disc 1, that's understandable. They made him really rude for no reason. So that's why I think probably playing the game in Spanish and me translating in real time, a more faithful translation version would be kinda cool. I mean, I don't know. You get confused with English. Oh, I don't know any German, man. I don't know any German. The French version on FF8 is also very roughly translated because translator team in the French version, they tried to make it sound like it's a video game for kids. So all of the conversations are very infantilized. You know, they use like very childish language. It goes to the point. This is real on the French version. When War gets his cut throat at the end of Laguna Dream 2, so he cannot speak anymore. They thought that was too much on the French version, so what they did was translated as, before the last battle, he said, hey, if we survive this, I'll make an oath of silence forever. Kinda like a dare. And that's why he never speaks again in the French version, not because he got his cut injured, or not because he got his throat injured, but because he took an oath of silence. That is real on the French version. and many other aspects like that. That is just like they try to make the game be for children. They removed every aspect that, you know, it was a little bit mature or, you know, weird. I know this because over the years in my speedrun career, I talked with so many friends, speedrunners, you know. So they always tell me about all these things. Now, in English, it's difficult to have like a childish language, right? Because the words are the words in English. You cannot really say them in other tone or any other, how to say it. What's the childish word version of apple? You know, there is no childish version of the word apple, but in European language there is no nuisance to every word. Kiwi. Fair enough, okay. Tuche. I concede. But you guys know what I mean, right? You can in European language you can use the same words to communicate nuisance. In English you use different words. That's all you can do. So when the French team wanted to make it childish, they just make all the names and every little interaction to sound as childish as possible. I don't know why they wanted to do that, but it's not like the English was better, because the English version also made Squall sound like a complete asshole, when that's also not accurate to what he says on the Japanese version. See how far I could get without asking for help, lol. On German. 9 Japanese with katakana, bro. I give up. I will make German. It's difficult. You can play games in Japanese when you know the positions of everything, so you don't need to read anything or understand anything. I can run this game in Japanese right now if I want to, because I know where all the buttons are, I know all the menus, I know, you know. I don't need to read anything in Japanese. That makes sense. Let's save this time. I think there was a save file here with the move pine. Would it be? No. I'm so scared to mess up this card now. I don't want to reset again to the Laguna Dream. I'm just gonna save. You know. I have broken. Somehow I cannot display it. My brain function is garbage. That sounds like what's the word? What's the word for it? Dyslexia, but in Japanese. Japanese dyslexia. Language is hard enough. Yeah. Polish is a really hard language to learn too. One of my friends as a kid was Polish, and he was just teaching me stuff when I was a kid. Bro, your language makes no sense. It's a difficult one. It's only because there is like a million nuisance in it. Spanish is very similar too, but you know, you grow up with Spanish if you live in Spain. You don't have to learn it per se. If you grow here, the same in Polish, but you know, they are very complicated languages. French is too. Let's see, some of the harder ones, I'll say Italian, there is a lot of nuisance, but it's not that difficult, at least for me. French is very difficult, Polish is very difficult, German is very difficult. Saving. Russian is extreme. I never attempted to learn Russian. English is probably the easiest language, and that is a very good thing, just so you know. Because English is an extremely simple language. And that is a good thing, I remark. That is the greatest strength of English. It has some few rules that you have to abide for, and the rest is just vocabulary, and the vocabulary is not extreme. And pretty flexible, yeah. Like, you can commit tons of mistakes in English. Like, God knows I do, you know. You guys are hearing me right now, and it still be perfectly understandable. It's funny. We're without a school that English is one of the harder languages. It's not. Quite the opposite. It's, I think, one of the simple languages in the world, and I think that's the best thing about English. That is a strength. A language that is difficult to understand and difficult to comprehend is a bad language, in my opinion. That includes Spanish, my own language. It's flexible to understand. You can say a lot of different ways to be understood. Yeah. Okay, we know he doesn't have the war card now. This will split down the middle between people here, finding it easy or hard. Yeah, it also depends on the region, but I think in general Spanish is way too hard, right? All of our verbs are irregular verbs. In English you have like what, 40 irregular verbs at most? Here every single verb, you can say it in a million ways. It's just awful. It offers nuisance, it offers richness when communicating, but does it fucking matter? Like, really, does it fucking matter at the end of the day when it comes to communicating? In Spanish, it's a motherfucker, yeah. Now, there is value in learning Spanish because so many people in the world have Spanish as their main language, you know, by the fact that there is an entire continent that speaks Spanish in South America. And as such, probably even if you live in America, you know, you benefit a lot from learning some Spanish. It has spread through your culture too. But I think there is very little reason to learn French in 2026. When will you ever need French? Unless you go to France. You know what I mean? With preferences, getting to know the rules. It also extend the vocabulary with all the nonsense. Exactly, yeah. And it's a struggle. Like for a country, like it is a struggle to having to learn the way words end and begin. in Spanish for verbs because everything is a regular verb for us, right? We just learn since kids how to pronounce things in past tense, future tense, present tense, and all that. We learn that when we are from like 6 years to like 14 years old. School. As somebody, if you're an adult right now, trying to learn all this is such an endeavor, you know. It's difficult, it's complicated, it's not easy. That being said, we in Spain, for the most part, most people understand that because we grow it up as kids and as teens learning all this, you know, we understand it's difficult. So if you're trying to talk Spanish to any of us and you're trying and you get things wrong, nobody will care, you know. The fact that you're already trying is already like super good. And who's here, mate? You're always gonna have the asshole that goes like, oh, if you don't speak proper Spanish, don't talk to me. But that is the same in any other language. There's always gonna be assholes. Any sensible, normal person will, you know, applaud you for even trying. Oh! Let's do this. And recapture idea if needed. What are you doing? What was that, mate? Are you trying to block me from getting idea? Well, joke's on you. I'll put it here. Come on, catch it. Thank you. Now I do this. I thought he could win with that little trap over there. I thought he could win with that little trap. If I place any card in the... If I try to recapture my idea, I will have drawed the match. That'd be one step ahead, mates. Yes, sir. The thing with the bird... Oh, I'll read that. But I hope you guys understand, whenever I say that English is simple, I don't mean it in a bad way, quite the contrary. I think being simple is the biggest strength of any language ever. Because at the end of the day, is it a tool to communicate? Simple makes it accessible, available for everybody. It is, by all means, a strength. When Lord, is it me or Twitch being buggy right now? Wait, is Twitch walking up? That's later, VM. That's gonna be one of the things I do. Probably on the Discord, I think. Do towards people learning Spanish sounds cool. I always wanted to learn it. Yeah. It's as I said, anybody who speaks Spanish, because, you know, we in school and teens have to go through it. Like, we understand perfectly. You know, it is difficult. Like, the fact that you try, it's already, you know, like, memorable. Most people will just work with you, you know, and make the effort to go all the way to understand what you're saying, even if some verb tenses are, like, incorrect or whatever, you know. As I said, you're always gonna have the asshole who is just gonna be, you know, what do you mean? You know, that's the thing with any language. I'm pretty sure English is simple, but also dumb. It's like we have here the same word, verbal meaning. I mean, there is nuisance. There is problems in English as any other language. I agree with that, though. Like, in a sense, for example, how English repeats many words for different things, like same word for different things. But that's just, you know, part of the course. They're the same. I'm from London, so there's a war of accents and levels. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know in the UK you have, depending on the region and depending on the town, you have very different ways to pronounce things. Yeah. In Spain we also have like even variations of Spanish. Luckily, one of my friends is Scottish, so I'm very used to that accent, but whenever I started hearing Scottish, I could not understand anything. These days I'm very used to. I think like we got tones and accents on regional dialects. Yeah. And even between London, there is like per segments of the city, ways to pronounce things. At least on the early 2000s. I don't know if it is more homogeneous these days. It's the same in Spain, just so you know. I live in the city of Fuenlabrada, and we cannot talk like gangsters in Spanish. It's much different from other parts of Madrid, for example. We say like, buah, macho, no veas, loco. Como mola, tío, o sea, buah, ni te cuento. You know, but not many parts of Madrid speak like that. If you're native speakers of a language, you're quick to say what you find dumb or bad about it. Like, I speak this language. This right here, I think it's stupid. Well, that's with everything. For better or worse, I guess. Yes, the squad, yeah. It's just kind of funny. Whenever I speak Spanish with the chat, some chatters always tell me, like, chatters that understand Spanish always tell me, dude, the way you speak does not represent you at all, how you are. Like, you're this super nerd, but you speak like a fucking gangster. You speak like a canny. That's just because I live in Fuenlabrada. I live my entire life in Fuenlabrada, you know, a southern part in Madrid. That's just the way I talk. I don't know how to speak in any other way. El Mafia. I mean, it's not, you can tell I'm not mafioso or anything like that, right? It's just an accent that kind of gives away, sounding like that. So everyone in Fuenlabrada speaks, you know, like very slurry like that. Yeah, it is, also. It is. Same with Catalan, another language I speak in Barcelona. There is many sub-languages. I say sub-languages without meaning disrespect languages. Andalusian. Okay, well, That is not a sap language, okay? That's just an artistic way to speak. It's an artistic choice to speak Andalusian. Okay, just so you know, I mean no disrespect either. All of my roommates through my life has all been coming from the south, from Andalusia. I'm very used to, and I love the way you guys speak a dialect. I'm not sure, to be honest. If you live in I forgot the name of the town. If you live in Cádiz, then yeah, it's a dialect. If you live in Almería, Granada, maybe not. Maybe an accent. Like if you live in Cádiz, maybe you can consider it a new language. Especially on villages. Catalan, Basque, Galician. Yeah, there's so many. Valencian. Different have for differences from people in Spain. That makes sense. Yeah, South American also is like a very different type of dialect and accent. And not only that, but also you guys use like very different words that we understand in the same way that you guys understand every single word we say. But you know, in the culture of South America, they're used way more than in the culture of Spain. For example, in America, you refer as carro for the most part in many countries, but in Spain we say coche. But we both understand each other, you know. That's exactly what it means. It means exactly the same. But there's differences in words like that. For people learning English, it's complicated because I can teach them one word and then a teacher from South America teach them a completely different word. Same thing. What do I buy? Oh, my notes don't even specify anything on this menu, so okay, I'm on my own here. I'm on my own. Want some fire ammo, maybe. Remedies. No, what's the remedies? Or softs. I know what you from Lhasa place, legend. He's from Madrid too, right? I'm not exactly sure. He has a very, very, very neutral accent. He sounds from either Madrid or Barcelona. Oh boy, call me Quack is Barcelona. Yee, Mr. Quack? Wait, you mean like a Twitch user called Call Me Quack? Or yo, Akilian, what's up? Hello, hello. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't know him. Are you holding up? Still going strong? Absolutely, man. We were just having a conversation about languages and nuisance and all that. Are we strong enough here? Little NF initiative already? No. It's at 0. Oh no, wait, what? I forgot to put... Fuck, are you serious? I forgot to put Pandemona. I kind of know him, Anton. He has been on his woogies many times. That's where I met him. Oh, I see. That maybe that's why it sounded familiar. This is why I thought immediately, wait, is that like another Twitch streamer? Mr. Trollazo, mate. ¿Qué pasa, hombre? Muchas gracias por el raid. Bienvenidos todos del streaming de Mr. Trollazo. Mi nombre es el Body y estamos haciendo Final Fantasy a tope. Es el Lunatic Pandora que viene con VMAX en sustancias psicotrópicas. Yo quiero de eso, tío. Lo que quiera que estén tomando los developers de Squaresoft en su día, yo quiero de eso. Estos eran los años 90, ¿no? Así que estaban con cocaína al menos. Hicieron este juego en un año usando el engine de Final Fantasy VII. Es increíble. Y en menos de un año, ¡pum! Fuera. Ha salido. Cocaína yo creo que es lo más suave que estaban tomando en la oficina. Sin duda. Hello, Poliedroth. Muchas gracias por el follow, hombre. Bueno, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te ha ido el streaming, tío? ¿Qué estabas haciendo? ¿F10 o...? Ya, ahí está. I was going to reply saying... I think you can still get it. Even while Lunatic Pandora has flown over here. I'm not sure. Oh, con Dash Faith. Oh, así. XX. ¡Hostias! Parte de telesferas. Joder, macho. Qué horror eso. ¿Estás haciendo 100%? No jodas, tío. No me digas que estás haciendo 100%. Based. Que no, déjate, tío. Necesitas 2 telesferas, si no. ¿Se hace o no se hace? Joder, tío, no me digas. ¿Por qué te haces esto a ti mismo, tío? No es muy tarde, Based. No es muy tarde. Déjalo ir. Madre mía. Masivo respeto. Ya te tenía respeto por los Final Fantasy que haces y cómo los haces, pero como hagas el 100%, me quito la gorra, tío. Y me la como después. Bueno, es lo que dicen. No se trata del camino. El camino es una mierda. Y la recompensa es una mierda también. Pero bueno. Algo bueno tendrá por el camino, digo yo, ¿no? Respeto del Body, al menos. Por lo que quiera que valga eso. Hay un final de Tidus volviéndose todos felices. Cualquier final que haya extra es mejor que el final hemos recibido por el 100%. No vuelvas, Tidus. Eso sin pasar las conversaciones. Madre mía, tío. Tiene bugs raros también. Aún así. En plan que si maseas el botón X en algunas conversaciones no te cuenta para el 100%. Pues mira, Trolazo. Masivos saludos, tío. ¿Sabes? Por aquella época, cuando yo te veía en Mary Station, por aquella época estaba haciendo yo también 10-2, 100%. Madre mía, cómo odié cada segundo de mi vida haciendo ese juego. Joder, macho. Para poder haber vivido trolazo en PlayStation. Eran vídeos buenísimos, tío. Habían dos videocasters por aquella época. Uno que era una chica que tenía las noticias más serias. Y luego otro lazo que hacía su cosa. Molaba un montón. Yo y mi primo siempre lo veíamos juntos. Cuando había vídeo de otro lazo, hostias, había que verlo. La manera en que lo hacía y todo, no sé. Molaba un montón, tío. Ya sé cómo terminó la cosa con PlayStation y todo el rollo, ¿no? Pero bueno, simplemente decir que molaba lo que había y lo que hacías. Ok, we're gonna be doing a manipulation here. Paid skip? No, we're getting paid too. Let me see if I can do this manip. It never worked for me on remaster. I can do this on emulator and original version Steam, but in here it always fails for some reason. On the remaster back. Okay, well, that's blender already. Y Polyedroth. Estamos haciendo prácticamente 100% speedrun. Con algunas reglas extra que hago yo. Cada vez. A este te estás haciendo las cartas. Sí. Todas las cartas y todos los side quests. Prácticamente 100%. Menos algunas cosillas. Cancel one. Cancel 20 times. This should remove the random rule. En emulator, at least. Venga, vale, trolazo. Muchas gracias por el raid otra vez. True King, tío. Y mucha suerte con el 10-2. Eres un héroe como lo consigas. Yo, it worked! Why did it work this time and not the others? Alright, well, random is gone. Random is gone. Let's fucking go. No, que yo sepa, al menos. Selfie ward. Diablos. Did it save the game, by the way? After the manip? I don't remember if I saved or not. This is so much simpler when you have control over your cards. Yeah, whatever. I'll just go and save now. I don't care if I lose time. Because I'm not exactly sure if I saved. A lo mejor jugarse Drakengard está al menos divertido. No he jugado nunca al Drakengard 1 o 2. He jugado al 3 en la PS3. Vaya juego de mierda. Pero moló. A mí me gustó mucho en su día, pero vaya juego de mierda. El 1 y el 2 sé que son mejores. Tienen un following cult. Algún día los jugaré, seguro. Vamos. And enter this whole ring of Pandora reaches tears point unless you can still enter after other coffin lands. I don't know actually. I got no idea. Ooh, what an idiot. Okay, I just need to be careful with same plus. For 5, no way. 5 difference? You have any 5 difference? No, you don't. Why do you put the card over there? Are you luring me to put it on top? For 2, for 1. Fuck, what's that card placement? If I put it here, it's gonna be 1 difference. For 2, for 2. Yeah, this is safe. I can put it here. It's safe. Which one of the two? There is 4 difference. So if I put this, it's over. If I put this, he cannot same plus. If I put it there, I would have lost the match. There's Lacuna. Time for Alex. Yes. This one is trickier. Not because the card is harder to get, but because he plays it a little bit less often. Que Luna. Medios me pille confesado. Es una... Yo no sé qué estaban pensando, tío. Vaya birria de juego. El Drakengard 3. Joder. Es un fever dream, tío. Que mola, si te gusta lo raro de cojones, a lo mejor puedes obtener diversión de ello. Madre mía, qué malo es el puto juego, tío. No funciona apenas, va a 10 FPS, PS3. Con combos que no tienen sentido, con bosses que no tienen sentido, con mecánicas que no tienen sentido y wifean la mayoría de las veces. Pero bueno, la historia es loca, la historia es lo más entretenido. Están de la olla con la historia. Que bueno, es entretenido, al menos ese sentido. If I put here, difference 1, yeah, you can draw. Wow, I forgot. Oh my god, there is soul. I was like, yeah, you can draw, it's fine. Fuck, man. Can you get me out of here? Maybe just fast. Other points. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. I can get the tears point thing, even under this 4, which is when I normally do it. Reset. On the plus side, I can use music cues now to know where to place play. So it rolls the card. I just don't know exactly where. But I find the spot in the music, I can replicate it all the time for this save file that is. I just masked it. That this is gonna be a no. It's not gonna play it. See, I masked it on accident. It might just worth it to trigger this cutscene and then save, because this might take a few attempts. I don't know the exact odds of her playing Alexander, but it has to be about 5%, I'm sure. Oh, I can't. Okay, whatever. Ooh. Okay, well I know exactly the music cue for it. What are you doing there? Difference 1s. 3, 4, 1, 8, 7. Oh, if he plays that crystal card in there, I'm dead. Can I counter? No. I can only defend myself against it. Difference 7, 3, 8, 1. Dangerous. Okay. And play this card. And then War wins against everything. Boom. That was the most difficult card to get in the entire game, mates. Just like that. It's actually difficult to win versus the AI on same plus open. If it is not open, they do more wild playthroughs. Or wild plays. Oh, I didn't talk with L1. Lol. I got head card and get out. Lol. Yo, sorry L1. I didn't mean to just take your card and dip out. Sorry. You wanna come with me? You're not too mad, right? Yeah, I'm not giving you your card back though, just so you know. Hey, I'm Pergo. Hello, hello, mate. Welcome in. I know which one you mean. It's okay, we'll be fine, mate. I already soft-locked to that a few times. I know how to be careful. You'll be fine, don't worry. I can do it again right now. I know in which music queue it appears. I will get a freeze try again. Usually goes AFK while flying towards Sinoa. What? He usually does that? Oh my god. That's a tragic game over. Brother, there is like a gigantic 5-minute break right after. Or like right before. Why would he go AFK during that section? That's so dangerous. I laugh at it, full knowing that I got the game overs to that too in my speedrunner days. But you know, it's easier to laugh in hindsight. And more satisfying. By the way, you guys are about to see Laguna. Any Laguna fans? This guy on the center over here. Okay, I cannot show. That guy on the center, that's Laguna. Yeah. Oh, I was too far off the scene trigger. I see. Well, it won't be, whatever he does, it won't be as bad as me repeating the Laguna Dream 5 times because of numerous mistakes. Mates, crispy skin salmon, broccoli, and sweet. Can I have some hacks, bro? You send me some? Hungry over here, man. Don't leave your mate hanging. By the way, you guys want to see a soft lock? I can show you one cool soft lock. My friend did it, so back in 2013 found this one for the first time, and I was the second one ever to fall for it in the planet. I know how to do it since. Now, this is super well documented, right? But it wasn't documented until DT found it. But I'll show you guys. I can show you another cool softlock too later. Let me save the game here very quickly, because I'm gonna load this after the softlock. Check this out, mates. You can run ahead of L1. It's tricky. Hold on. Let me try again. It is very tricky to do. Is it on the remaster? No, south, right? No, I'm pretty sure this can happen on the remaster still. I don't think they fixed it, right? Ooh, close. What can you do here? You'll see, you'll see. I nail it. I just want to show this. Ooh, close. They might have fixed it on the remaster. It used to be so easy. No? There it is. The game is soft-locked now. You cannot interact with L1. You cannot get in. You're soft-locked forever here. Can't see anything. Oh, shit. Really? This, basically. It's because I was doing very quick resets. Yeah, you're soft-locked here. There's nothing you can do. You can open the menu and you can, you know, do things, but that's it. Like forever here. Well, I was just showing off the softlock. Can you play cards? No, you cannot interact with anything in that corner. OBS takes a second to catch up on FF8, it seems, after closing it. F8, come on. Go FF8. Go FF8. I know another softlock, if you guys want to see it later. This one even more tragic. The next softlock that I'm gonna show made me lose my first rate with Kaguya Nikki. You guys might know Kaguya Nikki as one of the best speedrunners of Digimon in the world. They used to do Final Fantasy VIII back then, and we both ran that day in 2013 or 2014. FF8 no limits, and I was a little bit ahead on the speedrun, but I lost it to the softlock that I'm gonna show later. Ended up winning the race. Back then, that softlock was undocumented too. Not undocumented, it was known within speedrunners, but it wasn't documented. Like, that's something speedrunners knew it could happen, but nobody knew how. On that softlock that I got, I figured exactly how it happened. So I documented it myself on the wiki. Yo, Basix, what's up, mate? How are you doing, mate? You legend. Are you gonna be joining the next Age of Empires 2 community stream from Swoogie? Join us and play with us, mate. That's gonna be fun. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to play Age of Empires 2. It's on next week. Oh shit, let's go. Let's go. I don't have it too. I might get it next day and the regularity. Me too, mate. Doesn't matter. There was a few of the people we played with, you know, that they never picked the game before and they still were able to play with us, and we came to the agreement, oh, you know, then figure it out for a match or 2 or 3 or 4. You know, from there, you just play with us. It's a lot of fun. How long is Long-A-Thon going? So far, very good. We are the midst of days. It's been incredible. It's been super supportive. It's been super fun. We're all the way to FF8 by now. For 15 seconds. Okay, so this is a 5-minute break. I'm gonna use it to the bath. Grab some water or some food. Honestly, I'm starving. Anyways, BRB. Back. I am Baku. Oh wait, Redfaster sent me some mic advice. Let me try it. See that. Badass in FFK games. I agree. A very memorable airship. Airvine still correct. Yeah, this battle. This is gonna be tricky because I won't be able to. And here, do I even have whatever? Odin, shut the fuck up, Odin. Who gave you permission to go here? Look at my ATV, mates. Look at my ATV. Renoa full, squawk at 0. What is this? Renoa here running first strike. Wait, actually killed it? You Odin? Hello? I didn't know Odin could kill these guys. Wait a second. Yo, Odin is goated, mates. We love Odin. Any Odin fans? I'm a fan now. Press 1 in the chat, I'm pressing 1. The heck was that? Blind? Please don't be blind. That's fine. Damn, I never knew about it. I don't think I ever seen Odin here. Because I rarely do this old side quest plus plus all cards. I'll just yell whatever and help. Aurest. That's so why when you see Odin show out during that saber fight for the first time, you what the fuck is a fight follow with? Well, I know of Odin, of course, and everything that involves it. These battles in particular, I never seen it. We seen it twice today. Okay, well, you Odin, you are the main character today. You show them, man. You got it. Can I get our stones? Thank you very much. You want to get personally, so here comes again. I dare him, Odin. Show yourself again. I dare you. I fucking dare you. I double dare you. I thought so. Bitch. You're a bitch, Odin. Nobody likes you. Our stone. Well, we got on one our stone. That's all I need. Hear that, Odin? I called you that, exactly that. Yeah, I say the B word. I called you a bitch. Bitch. Odin. Where are you? Yeah, you're not here. I thought so. Because you know what you are, Odin. Last chance, Odin. Show me you are not a big bitch. Come on, do it. I dare you. Show up. I thought so. See? Odin is awful, mates. Wait, now he won't show up during a safer fight. I'll be glad if he doesn't. Wasted of time. If he doesn't help me in the speedrun at any point. I hope he doesn't show up. We need to probably stop for today soon. The recording gets messed up after 11 hours and a half gameplay. And we're at 10 hours and a half. Daddy is not recording the pause. Like Gilgamesh was such a downgrade. It 100% is. It 100% is. It's only useful, Gilgamesh is only useful if you do no junctions, no levels challenge, which is an insane challenge already on its own. And it only helps in one battle in particular, on the 3-point fight, once you reach this 4. Only there and then. And you know what? The odds of helping you are less than 1%, but you sadly rely on it. You have to roll the perfect roll on Gilgamesh, which is less than 1%. That challenge is just absurd. That's the only point where Gilgamesh will ever help you. In casual, it will never help you. It's an awful summon, honestly, compared to Odin. Odin already on its own is pretty awful. Yeah. When I was doing no junctions, no level, it took me about 16 hours to beat 3-point. It was just me resetting, walking to the battle, rolling, dying, working to triplet, rolling, dying, working to triplet, rolling, dying. Oh, Gilgamesh showed up. It's not the right roll. Reset. 16 hours. More recently, Metako did that too, but instead of 3-point, he did it on Sphinarax, the first boss that you can escape, and it was just as awful. Took him like 2 days or so on that challenge. Vinosec. Are these like actual Latin words? I don't think they are, right? There is one movie, by the way, from the early 2000s, a horror C movie that actually uses the lyrics of the intro of Final Fantasy VIII, like the Vinosec and all that. They use it on a scene where, you know, like they are chanting for summoning Satan, which I find hilarious. Like there is some priest chanting these lyrics right here. It's like a horrible movie. You guys would have never heard of it. But they do. I saw it as a kid. Like, wait, that's a song from Final Fantasy VIII. Just requiring Gilgamesh help sounds absolutely it is off. The entire challenge is off. I wouldn't recommend if you are at total. It's the challenge I was talking about earlier where you require Cell to get the entire Cell Love quest, get one magic. That's the sense. Who knows about that? Nobody in the planet, but Cable knows about it. Cable is a scientist in FF8. He has figured out the source code, he has figured out everything. He figured out RNG manipulations, card manipulations, all sorts of manipulations for the speedrun. Cable is an absolute legend in this game. And of course he did no junction, no level route for all of us to use. Still fucking awful as a challenge. But hey, if you want to be a hardcore Final Fantasy VIII player and you want to give it a try, it is rewarding. It feels great when you make it. And it's a little bit far easier with all the manipulations you have made these days. Abel has to be the single most knowledgeable player of FF8 in the planet. And it's not even close. When I was doing blindfolded FF8, this one, he helped me out figuring out a manipulation for the train codes. You know the train when you have to press a combination of 4 codes? When you're blindfolded, you cannot see the codes, right? So he helped me out figuring out a way to make it blindfolded. He's such a legend. Like, yeah, I don't think that's it was for me. Yeah, and he got nerfed. That set got giga nerfed these days. But back in the day, it required you to do lowest level, no junctions. In the base set. It was insane. I'll never respect Pern as a retro achievement developer after that one. And nowhere near. Yeah, it is. You are not meant to play. You know, that's just like super masochism. That's like playing Dark Souls no hit type of thing. You know, just don't do it. There is no reason for you to do it. You know, the game is not meant to be played like that. It's only if you want to be like me, a fucking idiot. The game that you love the most. I figured out a manipulation on my own with one of the achievements on Retro Achieve for Final Fantasy VIII, the Card Shark 5 in particular. I figured out a manipulation for that achievement. It involved winning versus Sue with nothing but level 1 cards on a 9-0. I manipulated that shit based on cable knowledge and cable tech, and I documented it all in Retro Achievements for anybody to use. That set was just insane back then, man. Let's go. First of all, switch around, and actually no, save the Rhino. One challenge and being quick with all the active. Yeah. It all amounted, it's not like difficult, it all amounts to resetting the game 600 times. It's not challenging, it's just bullshit. But you know what? You know what, Jack? I'm gonna show you something cool. Retro achievements. I'm gonna display my screen for 1 second. Achievements. You go to my profile. You see this? This badge? I mastered that game. And if you go inside my completion, you can tell I don't have many of the new achievements whatsoever before the rework. Like, I don't have them. That is because I completed this set when it was absolutely bullshit. When it was like an insane challenge. And I did complete it. You know what? They gave me for free this other badge. They gave me for free this badge because I completed back in the vanilla set many of these bullshit. I don't even know what any of this is, but they gave me the badge because I completed it back in the day in the bullshit set, and I have it. It was so awful, mate. Now the set is still complete bullshit. Don't get me. The set is still, if you complete the current set with the current sub badges and all that, it's still easy hardcore, but nowhere near as it was on the base set. I think you should still feel proud if you ever beat as it currently is. You definitely have a lot to brag about if you do. I don't know why they make sets. Like, if I was the FF8 Retro Achievement set developer, you bet it will be nowhere near this level of whatever it is. You know the worst part? The only thing when it comes to FF8, when it comes to my memories, is just being beaten up. I have the badge and I just beat it about it. You know, I can hardly brag about it. Bullshit, fucking awful set. I don't know why I did it. I shouldn't have done it. It was just so not recommended to anybody. So we stop for today here, mates. Some that are rather easy to get. Some must be people detailed set. Haven't touched the new one. No, the new one definitely has some clunkers achievements. In particular, there is 2 achievements that are in there that involves lowest level. Beat all the monsters in one go. Lowest level on the 2 islands closest to Hell and Heaven. That already is. It requires an entire playthrough on its own, and it's insane. You need like crazy planning that you can only get from the cable route, from the cable nodes. So that's one. Up here. I can watch some videos doing it. You record